feelings about stuff. Oh, it's live now. It's live. We're gone live. Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
hello. Where's
Hello.
Grim?
Hello,
Where's
my
Grim then?
chunky Geordie. SB.
Oh, there he is. Hang on, I can't even find
Uh,
the chat.
it,
I'm sorry that we're a
where,
bit late going live. Sorry about that. I had technical issues as always.
Oi, oi.
By the sound looks of it, other people have, like myself.
Oh, there
yeah,
you
there's
I
are.
can't hear
been a
anybody.
lot.
You can't hear
Oh,
anybody. He's up. Hello.
Grim's just gone into the darkness. The Grim
He's going
Reaper's
to.
gone dark. Now I know what he's doing. Right, it's gone onto that camera on that broadcast software. I can tell you that now. I can see
Oh,
the
there we go.
emblem.
Right. You just switch the camera off for that, don't you? Right. Who we got in the chat? Hello, Grandad. Grandad's in the chat. Reaper. Polaran message. SB.
Yeah,
Hi,
Grandad's
Chunky
here.
Gina.
2122.
Grandad's there, isn't he? Where's Rastaman? He's going to be around somewhere. He's got to be lurking, hasn't he? We haven't seen Rasta yet.
I heard you then, Grim. I think we can hear you. Just
Yeah, the
speak
chat
if
can
you-
hear you. We can hear you. You can't hear us. Is that what you're saying? Hello, hello.
Yeah, they're saying they can hear us, but not Grim.
We
You've
the chat
you've
can
got
hear
to.
all of us. Is Grim saying he can't hear us?
No, they can't hear Grim. They can't hear Grim. Right, if you can hear me, Grim, you're going to have to. I don't know. You're gonna if you're coming through that broadcast software, you're gonna have to take it off and come back in, or start a new one or whatever, because that's causing you issues. OBS.
Not good. Not good. Right.
No, I know it's that's doing it. Because I've had trouble with that.
It's all yeah. We better. I guess like we could. What am I doing? I'm still trying to set this video up and could even play it. It's only a 4-minute video if it actually processes or uploads.
Yeah, it's
Um,
awful waiting for the processing sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, being it's only 4 minutes, it didn't take long to process. So I don't know about the YouTube. I'm guessing it won't take too long. I'm just trying to get the details down for it. I forgot what I called it now. It's called. I need to take one of those screenshots as well, don't I? It's called. I didn't even check the spelling. That's a nightmare when you make a video and you don't check the spelling on it.
Yeah.
I did that once with a Niagara Falls video, and I spelt it Niagara, and it's Niagara, and it was like,
Yeah.
Isolation is over. I've called it.
As long as they didn't spell it Viagra.
Yeah, I was talking about Viagra last night. I was only joking, like I was only messing.
Do you want anything to eat?
Yeah, you may as well do an early cook. Oh, it's not that early. Yeah.
Hi, Grandma.
Hello, Stan girl. How are you?
I'm not too bad at the minute. We'll see how this goes. I mean, we've still got the night to go yet, so we'll see how it ends up.
Just a cook.
Just a cocoa. Don't you want a sandwich or a pizza or anything?
No, thanks.
Right, okay.
Leo Blue, hello. What's that?
Hello,
message
SB.
Okay. What is it? Polarian message and Grandad. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, hey, up here we go. What's it? Rasta's phone's not charging. It was playing up last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Blue.
There's been a lot though. You know when I was telling you about website, like the trouble we've had with our technical side, I went on somebody else's on another platform, and there was a guy there saying he gets it 300 times a day.
Oh, what?
Yeah, 300 times a day. He said he gets it from his website. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane. What's going on with all of this? Oh, hang on. Let's private that video. I've got to get a screenshot for it. I don't know if it's done already. I'm not too sure. I mean, that's pretty quick, isn't it? If it is done.
Grim, go into settings on this.
Hello.
And when you see your camera, click it because it'll be into virtual camera. That's what it's picking up on.
Huh.
No, it's changed.
What do you mean it's changed?
But I will try. I changed it, but I'll try again.
Yeah, it's maybe jump back on.
Oh, it's uploaded already.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, it's quick. That was real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, we can all hear Grim now. It's just the thing, but I recognise that emblem and the background on his thing.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not me, there's a problem.
That's it. We got you.
Are you coming through OBS? Grim.
No, not at the moment.
There you go, love.
Because that's the OBS symbol. That it's either that or the Freemasons, one or the other.
You need to switch camera off, don't you? Or stop camera, and then
there's a virtual camera setting within what we on StreamYards. Yeah.
See that? Look. See that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. At the bottom of the screen, when it says stop camera, just press that. And then it should come up with your whatever icon you've set. And if you haven't...
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
We can
He's
hear
calling
you.
me a puff.
Oh.
I'm not.
Okay, that's all right. I've been listening to you.
It ain't Stango, it's me.
Well,
Oh shit! It's Grandad, not
Just
me. He's
because
always
you
been.
can.
It's like a steam train, honestly.
just because you can doesn't mean just.
Okay, that was a very quick rant. He didn't even get to begin it.
Yeah, and he can lead it, but I'm not.
I must confess though, I'm trying to quit smoking again, so I've got my vape. But I shouldn't have said that because nobody would have known. You don't stop, do you? You're kind of constant, like a steam train.
To be honest, I've got addicted to it now. I don't know whether it's just habit. I don't know. But
well, if you don't have it, do you, like cigarettes? Do you start panicking or whatever?
yeah, it's like a bane without a dummy going to bed. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, the way I see it, I mean, if you haven't got it, you're not looking for it, if you know what I mean, because it depends how strong the nicotine is, actually. I don't use nicotine. Do you use a lot, like high strength?
No, it's only on 6.
The
6
nicotine?
mg. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that to me is quite a lot. I mean, I sometimes I'll put, do you use Nic salts or nicotine shots?
Pardon?
Do you use the nicotine salts or shots?
I do normally. At the moment, I'm just on the crappy stuff from the local shops. You know.
Oh, it's already mixed, is it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the nicotine itself, that makes a difference. But me personally, it's a habit, and it doesn't matter if I go without it because I don't use the nicotine. So it is just a habit, puffing away like a dummy.
Well, I'm slowly getting it down. Like I say, I'm at 6. I'm going to drop it to 3 eventually, and then hopefully get like how you do and just have it just dummy, if you like, because that's what it's like, really, to be honest.
Yeah. It's Grim back. Are you back, Grim?
Talking to dummies, how are you, Grandad?
Hey, no, I'm not the dummy. You go check your spelling on your
Well,
on your
just asking
title.
Grandad. I did talking to dummies. How are you?
Thank
Hang
you.
on, I'm going to lose my internet. Shit.
Nope. To internet. Right. I think
No,
we're
you're
okay
losing
now,
it. Hell, I've lost it. Again, Stangu, that's it. You'll be on your own.
Oh no!
No,
Don't
I'll
leave
be
me.
back in.
You can
If
entertain
it
the
disappears, I'll be back in a sec.
I was bobbing
Oh,
in
but,
and out.
but I've just made a video I can play if you both disappear. I can play him that. Oh no, I can't. Can I? I can't actually share videos. Can I without those? But did you find out? You know when you come into StreamYard, you've got settings. You've got extra settings where you can do stuff. I had a look the other day, and you can do various things. But you've already assigned co-host, haven't you, to Grandad?
Yes, I
Have
can
you?
be your email address.
So Grandad, if I put a
No.
what's it, share screen, he can share it. No.
No.
Oh, okay. You've not done that. Well, you get that when you first before you
No,
sign
I've
into
not.
here.
I haven't yet. No.
Yeah,
So-
I've had the email
Yeah.
about that.
Okay. So you're the only person that can share the screens then.
I am at the moment, yes, because I asked you last week to send me your email, but I'm still waiting.
You
Asco,
took-
I'm about to die. Stangu,
Yeah. What's up? What?
he's
He's
gone.
about to. His last words. The Grim Reaper's last words was Stangu before he died.
No, well, yeah,
I'll
no,
pop.
Oh,
he's
no,
back.
he's back. I like that. I know a vape anywhere. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Wasn't. What I said was,
Rolling. Mhm.
what I said earlier was, I'll talk to you offline.
Ah, right.
Are you talking to Grandad or me?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Both of you.
Mis-
Hello.
Mr.
Hello,
Reaper.
hello.
Oh, both. Oh, all right.
Testing, testing. Testing.
Yep, 1, 2.
testing.
You are hearing us, right?
I was just testing you, that was all.
You just tested us. All right.
Sorry, what?
So,
What? Picking out someone who's deaf. Right, so what have you got planned for us, Stangu?
oh, I thought you'd made plans. Right. Well,
What is
You don't
on
wanna
the
hear me.
card?
well, there are the
What-
cards. I mean, it's a big. We could always put a meme
Well, no, I
thing
don't
up.
really want to hear your plan. I'm only being
No.
polite.
Okay. Just make it letting people believe
I was
that
only-
I have
I was
actually have
only
an input into this.
Rhetorical question, really.
All right. Okay.
Input. What you wanted to talk about earlier on, or yesterday, we're not able to. So moving on to the next idea that you had.
Yes.
Oh, hang
That
on,
would
you're
be-
still thinking of that one, aren't you?
You're talking about mental health support, carer support. Or was
Oh,
there
right.
another subject?
You lost. Yes, but you just lost that first game.
Lost
No,
or what,
there
sorry?
wasn't another subject. That's because you just lost. We were playing the yes/no game, weren't we?
What's
We were playing no, weren't we?
If you want to play yes no game, you're gonna have to start again because I didn't know. we were playing.
Okay,
What's that?
So, sure, what is? There's a gremlins coming to the studio.
I think he's got a snake. I'm not sure.
Right.
Does interference on your mic? It sounds like Grim.
Snake.
Oh, it's gone again. You're all right again now.
But what I am. There you go. Thank you very much. It's called sound effects.
Bear with us, chat.
Oh no, it's stand up.
It's me. It's
Yeah.
what's
What-
going on?
what-
Am I
They're
breaking
picking
up?
on you. They're picking
Oh.
on you this tonight instead of me
You've been
last week.
invaded.
Oh, thank you. There's nothing new there, then, really, is there?
You're welcome. Hey, at least a fair.
Okay.
I didn't quite hear what you were saying.
You're pinging again.
Yeah. Both of you are. Am I? 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, you're not. And my
Yes,
setup's normal.
There is a serious side this evening. On this, I just wanted to see whether or not my connection was staying or not.
Okay. Is this to do with the OBS then, if we're pinging out? Because everything sounds okay to me. Apart from
Thought
Grim,
we'd
you keep
established what-
dipping.
No, OBS is.
No, you're going
Well, I
again.
will keep dipping because I don't have a very good connection to StreamYard.
Okay.
Every day the internet goes down. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna do a
Rasta that
reboot. Did you hear that?
a reboot. Yeah, we heard that.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you need a reboot. You can't
Hello.
hear us, can you? Rasta has a snake. Oh, a royal python. Nice. A bull python called Monty. Monty Python. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Monty Python. I like the royal pythons. They're very, placid, really, aren't they? You could just carry them around like a bull. They just curl up on branches. Am I breaking up then still, or am I okay?
No, there's some. It sounds like I can hear everything you're saying, but there's something coming through here.
Oh, okay. 'Cause you're clear.
I
How's it
don't-
sound? I was going to ask the chat how it sounds. Because
Yeah, that's the chat, but sometimes it's different in here to what they're hearing.
anybody give us any feedback on who you can hear, or SB, you're a mod. Tell us about it. Can you... Right. Can you hear us all clearly or not? There was a message saying like Grim was pinging, but we're aware of that, aren't we? Grim is
Yeah.
pinging. Sounds perfect. Has it sounded perfect so far all night? Because Grandad's working with a new system, and this is the first time we've done it live, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're fine, and Monty is a she. Oh, I
Oh,
thought
right.
Monty's a she. Oh, they're a bit bigger, aren't they, the female snakes? But I had a Burmese dog-faced python. She was about how big was she? About 6 inches when I picked her up. I put my hand
Yeah.
in the Viv, and she bit the end of my finger, and I pulled her out, hanging off my finger, and I thought that's the one I'm having. So I took her out. You know, honestly, love at first bite. Do you know how long she grew
Yeah.
to? 18
What?
foot.
Bloody hell.
18 foot. I know. A constrictor. Oh, she was beautiful. Unfortunately, like she died though. Shame. I swore never to keep another one again. Yep, you sound perfect. You sound perfect too, SB. I don't know.
I think Grim said he was going to reboot his laptop, to be honest.
He's going to give it a kick, isn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, I'm just going to...
So let's get this straight again, because I couldn't understand Grim. Can you actually share screens now? If I put a screen share up, can you actually bring it up? Because I can't
he
do
said
that.
no, because he
Right.
he's forgot my email, which is a bit weird. I'll give it out on here, but it's one that I use for YouTube anyway, so don't care. You know what I mean?
Oh, Gina, she was only about 10, but she caught some kind of illness, and where I was living at the time, I couldn't get a vet. Nobody would deal with her. Yeah, she just died, and it was a real shame, really. It was after we brought a dog in the house. I don't know if that was connected or just coincidence, but yeah, it was a real shame. I've kept other snakes and passed them on to other people, like corn snakes, other little Burmese, that we've kept and passed on. Like there was a albino, nice yellow one. Who's a naughty devil? Ooh, the devil's in the house.
I used to
But-
have a tarantula, and the kid across the road scared stiff of them. So one day I got up and I went to the cage, and I thought, how come I've got two? Well, one was the skin, because they shed the skin, but it looks
Right.
like there's another one. So I got
Yeah.
that, and I went outside and threw it at him. Well, you've never seen him run.
Isn't it called an exoskele or something? It's got like a trapdoor on its belly that they crawl out of. They kind of drop out.
It must be, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a
complete, yeah.
It's like
So
a ghost, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, really. Yeah, out of your shell, coming out of your shell, as they say, isn't it? What was I just going to say about the snakes again? Oh no, I was going to say, like, a friend of mine, he had one of those bird eater spiders. You know, a bit like they look like the size of a huntsman. And he used to come home from work on a Friday, and the Viv, or whatever the spider tank was called, was at the end of the sofa. And he'd come home, lay on the sofa for his afternoon kip, and he'd open the top of the tank. And I'd come round in the afternoon, and by that time, the spider had crawled out onto his face and just kind of like hugged his face like something out of Alien. I don't know why it did that. But it was like, we come in, it's like, oh, whoa. The first time I went in, what the hell's that? But it was huge, a bird-eating spider. What's that? They shed like snakes. Kind of. Snakes actually, they rub the skin off. They need something rough, and they peel it, and it peels off like I was going to say a banana peel then, more like a condom, I think. And it feels like a condom too when it's before it dries. It peels off like that. Where the tarantula, it literally has like a trapdoor on its belly, and somehow it crawls out the trapdoor and leaves the shell standing there, doesn't it?
Yeah, all the legs in place, everything. Yeah,
they've got some fangs on them as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really? Whoa! What were you feeding it? Crickets or whatever?
Yeah, crickets. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like spiders.
Crickets, and you always ended up some escaping, and then you'd be in bed and you'd hear crickets on a night, and you'd think, Jesus. And trying to find them was a nightmare. Was it the same guy, actually? Yeah, he had emperor scorpions too.
Yeah. They're bloody huge they are, aren't they? Emperor scorpions. He couldn't do anything with them. He'd just open the tank and he'd kind of like push them with a stick, and you'd see their whatever the tail's called. Well, it's a tail, isn't it? Come up over the top. What's that? Rusty used to have an Everglade rat. Oh, rat snake, sorry. Rat snake. Oh, I've seen those. But got some sort of illness where all the bones dissolved. Oh, and black spots were left instead. Oh, the vet had never seen anything like it before. I was going to say, I've never heard of that. Snakes normally they suffer from, what's it called again? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. You get the deficiency, but there's something around the nose and stuff. Where it kind of goes dry and scabby, and the best thing for things like that is iodine, but I don't think that would work with that black spot or whatever it is.
There you are. It's called MDB. SB says.
What is it? What the? Oh, okay. MDB. What's that stand for, though?
No idea.
Spiders have hairs that can. What's that?
Spiders have hairs that can. Oh.
Yeah, you're meant to, like when you handle a tarantula, aren't you meant to wash your hands afterwards because of the hairs that they can get in your skin, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the little spiders. Little black widow or something would be nice, wouldn't it?
I think SB's a code breaker, but she talks in code in a name.
Yeah. You do know what SB stands for, don't you?
No.
Special branch. So what's what you say?
Oh, we better not start that. We're only joking, SB. We are only joking.
Sorry, SB. We love you, really.
You'll most likely hear it a bit later on, actually, because it's supposed to be coming in the channel. We'll see. I won't give out away.
Oh, there you go. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is it? Metabolic bone disease. Oh, that's only the start of it.
Yeah, Grim got accused of being his occupation. So
what today? When today?
No, last night. It was funny. Hang on, it was early this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it was early this morning. Yeah, it was funny though.
Oh, but right. Is this going to be coming up for discussion? We're not talking about that at all, or not just yet, or
no, not see if the guy comes in. He said he's coming in.
Oh, okay. Oh no. What's that? Sorry, Edinburgh University had never seen anything like. What's that say? Shiny. Before, as they X-rayed her. Shiny. Anything like shiny before? Oh wow. I don't like any animals dying really. Even spiders, flies. I don't kill anything really. I don't know about you.
No, not
even
really.
No, even the false widows. We get the false widows, and it's like they're so wicked looking. I've got to put them outside, you know. And yeah, they got the pointy legs.
Somebody was having a discussion the other day. I don't know who it was. I can't remember. But there was on about spiders in the house. I don't know whether it could. I don't know whether it could have been someone on here. But they said if you leave the spider, it keeps all other spiders down.
Yeah.
By killing them, you just, you're just letting them roam then.
Yeah, I've got a house full of them. I never kill my spiders. Even when they've got a nest up there, I watch their little babies, and they eat half of them, I reckon. But yeah, I don't see many of the big spiders. I've got these little spindly ones everywhere, and they seem to keep the big wolf spiders at bay. You don't see them. They really do. They don't really bother with the flies much for some reason, but I don't get that many flies in here. But yeah, I like my spiders. So
Grim keeps spiders because it likes all the web effects, like in the dungeons and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I hate breaking the webs. I really do, but I do. Every now and again, I'll give it a dusting down, but it's nice, the dungeon effect. You can't really recreate that real web look, can you, with any of the fake stuff like the Halloween decorations?
No, I always have problems. I don't know whether I forgot what they're calling. Oh, Rasta. I don't know whether Rasta has it with his cameras, but you'll get a spider that puts a web on front of your camera when it goes in night vision.
Yeah,
and it looks weird. Or if the spider crawls over during the night, you're thinking, who's that?
Yeah, I've seen that on the CCTV when I've looked at it in the shop. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it, when you see that? By Grim, this laptop's taking some boating. He's maybe boating it around the room.
Yeah, there's nothing else we can do. I mean, just chat to the chat. What am I doing? I need to close stuff down here. Got loads of windows open as usual. Do you get those what do you call them? The false widows where you are?
No, I ain't seen none.
No, they're about the size of a black widow. They've got a similar kind of shape, and they tend to have like a marking on the back that often looks like a skull. To be fair,
right.
The legs are like pointed. Do you remember that movie Jumanji? With the original one. You know the big spiders in the attic when they come tap 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 tap. They got the pointy. The legs are like that. They really are. They're like something from outer space. But if they bite you, they've got quite a poisonous sting. Apparently, it could kill you if it gets you on the chest or something, or if you're allergic. Wasp, like bee stings or anything, it could kill you. But it causes something. I think it's called necroderm, and it causes dead skin that just stays. It goes black for a little while, and if you're okay, it'll just stay there. You'll end up with a black spot on wherever it bites. But yeah, bit of a nasty bite.
Well, they always say about I once did look it up, but I can't remember how many a human consumes while they're asleep. You know, them crawling in your mouth and
Oh no, here we go. Oh, can you remember how many?
no.
No. Ooh.
But I can
Yeah.
see the facts on it. I can see the
Ew.
facts. Because you're breathing, aren't you? So
Yeah. Yeah. Has Grim gone and joined another channel by any chance? He's
I told you he's bolting that laptop around the room.
What's
He's
that?
bolting it up. Maybe he's bolting it up in the air.
Yeah, I did that once with with my first laptop. I just kicked it across the room, not out of anger. It was actually because, like, at the time, my ex, she's like, "Oh, you got to talk to him nicely. You got to talk to computers." I said, "It's a machine. You give it a kick," and I booted it across the room, and it bounced. It didn't do much damage, but I just wanted to prove a point. It's like, it's a machine. You treat it like one, not like a lover.
No, I did. You know, when it wasn't a laptop, it was a tower. Beside, that's how I got into repairing them and all that. I had this tower and I was messing with it. It'd go, then you'd get a virus or something, and then something had happened. And in the end, I'd had enough that much. I took it to bits. I bolted it around the room and did all sorts with it. So I took it all to bits. So I couldn't mess with it again. I didn't know where I went. And I went and rented one from this place on the monthly. And I was speaking to him and he said, "Oh, well, bring it in and I'll give you something for it and for the parts." Well, I come back and I just sat there and put all the parts back and it booted up brilliant. So I took him his laptop, his tower back.
Oh, well, so you started, was it? Or kind of.
Yeah, and that's how I started doing repairs, yeah.
I was the same with like stereos and things, I think. I mean, it starts with changing a few. Remember those glass fuses, 240,
Yeah,
whatever they
yeah,
were. And
yeah.
people used to come round. It's like, my stereo's knackered. Can you fix it for me? Of course, they'd pay you. And I'd have it, and you know, often it'd be like, yeah, I'll have a look at it for you. You know, I knew exactly what it was. Go down the shop.
I did that the other day. Someone said, "Oh, you can have that telly if you want." So I went, "Oh, right. Oh, well, it come on, and then it started flickering, and I knew straight away what it was. And you know what it was?
What?
It had been in the damp. You know, like in an house where it's damp. You know, where it gets too damp. You know, the old houses.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I brought it back, left it sat there, didn't put it on. As soon as I put it on, straight on, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So that's going in the kitchen.
I mean, I think people are more clued up now than they used to be. I mean, back in the day again, I used to do simple things like, I mean, it wouldn't come through in stereo on the old televisions. I'd just wire up some speakers for people, so they had like surround sound, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be stereo. But it was simple to do. It was simple. I just attached wires to the existing speaker, and it's like people couldn't do it. I mean, some people couldn't even put the leads into the VCR or something when they, you know, wanted this proper stereo sounds. They couldn't do that. So I used to get paid for doing that. And of course, like some people that had those old coin operated TVs where you
I remember. Yeah.
As soon as they found out that I knew how to basically hotwire one of those, it was so slow. All you got to do is disconnect the box and put the wires together. But I didn't tell them that.
Yeah, and then they had to fill the box up before they come round to check
it. Yeah. It's just that sometimes they run out, don't they? They run out of coins, and it's like, we can't watch TV. Can you? And they'd give me a call. Like, I'll come round. Stand back. You can't see what I'm doing. Oh, it's nice to hear your voice. Oh, that'd be one of us, wouldn't it? Of course. I was thinking in the chat. It's like you can't hear voices in the chat. Yeah, he gets that. The snake. Rasta has a video about some spiders that look mental in his caravans. Never seen any of them before ever. I got tons of footage of spiders. So I was always in my shed just getting close-ups of spiders. In fact, I got some on my YouTube channel that are private, but you know, there's no. I think maybe they're private because I put background music to it, and it would have been copyrighted.
Yeah, it would if it's
Yeah.
The only way you'd get away for that is like what we've been discussing in other like Telegram and such. Is if you pay for the thing, they don't seem to do you as bad. It's mad. There's sort of one rule for one lot, the free lot, and one rule for the paid. Well, they don't want to start doing stuff to the paid, do they? They don't want to upset them. They want that money off on that monthly fee.
Yeah, it's making me mad. You know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. Did we promise not to mention that at the moment for some reason? For reasons. Although I heard Anne Marie talking about it yesterday, I think, and I mean it's a subject. I can understand the point, but we can work onto it somehow. I guess it will involve it when Grim gets back. You know, with the whole yeah. I mean,
I know.
Yeah,
I know where you're going. I mean, I know stuff now, but I'm not saying on here.
yeah. I mean, it's really it's really bothering me. It's really irritating me that we're not going to tackle it. But yeah, we'll wait until Grimdirect's back anyway. I don't want to. Yeah.
Oh no, it's stuff's moved on a bit actually. There's a few things. There's about 3 things happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, which I don't give a two monkeys about, to be honest.
I mean,
as long as they leave the children out of it, that's fair. Really.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Hello, Grim. You're back. Did you put your laptop back together?
Doesn't sound like it.
No, it's not quite done it yet. You have to plug your mic in.
SB, it's lovely to read your text. Move on about what? Yeah, it was a bit cryptic that we'll just leave that for a sec. Because we can't be talking like cryptically, can we? Without the understand what we're saying.
Yeah, sorry about that, SB.
Hey up.
Yeah, Grimmy Head. Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear us now?
I wasn't sure. That was all. Do you know what? I think I'm going. Good evening, everybody, and good evening, my two loyal friends. I had no choice really. They could have left and just left it open, but
it's delusional again.
I was actually going for the record on YouTube as the latest, as the host that was the latest for their own session.
You're going to be falling asleep later as well,
that
aren't you?
didn't quite work because somebody else got it for me.
Right.
Me? Oh, yes.
While Grim's back in, Miss Grim's is all fine now. Right, Stango, just go out and then come back. Let Grim you back in again. See if it solves this problem.
Go out totally?
No, just out in the back and come back.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I keep dropping. Do you really want to risk that?
Why?
You really want to risk? Trust my connection.
Go on, get him back
now.
in.
Let's hope that he comes back. Otherwise, you're stuck on your own. Well, I can't till he appears.
Oh, is it
it's
gone
not
right
like
out?
bloody magic. Oh, yes, you can tell he's back. Well, he's not showing, but there again, I did tell you he's got a slow connection.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I keep losing connection, so you throw him out like a... Oh, brilliant, aren't you? So if I go, what are you going to do then?
Well, I'll talk to myself.
You're going to be on your own then.
Yeah, but I'll talk to myself like you heard me talking to
Hello,
myself.
Stango.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yep.
That's better. Yeah.
That's better. Okay.
I thought you were talking to me then, but obviously you talked to yourself.
Carl and Alison's in the house. Hello.
Hello, Carl and Alison.
Is it all done now? Whatever. Get everybody. Granddad and...
Hang on.
You give him an inch and they take a mile.
Give him a rope and what? He'll hang himself.
I'm not breaking up.
You know, cracking up, not breaking up.
Give the children an inch, lead them unsupervised. Right, can you hear me
We're
now?
talking-
Yeah, I can hear you.
You just grab a
Oh,
can of
thank you.
pop.
Just ask the chat if they. Yeah, chat. Can you hear Grim?
I've been able to listen to you. That's one good thing. Good evening, everybody. Now that the Stango and Grando is open,
Yep.
did you enjoy your 5 minutes of fame, Stango?
Yeah, that's
Good.
it now, isn't it? I've got another
Same
6
time
minutes.
next
That
week, but a little bit longer.
Didn't Andy Warhol say? Was it Andy Warhol that says like everybody has 11 minutes of fame in their life? I mean, that's changed, hasn't it, since the internet?
Yeah. We've now got the internet.
Yeah, 11
Right.
minutes
This
of fame.
week-
You didn't see that coming.
We've had... He did on the 7th minute. Hurry past. Right. Can you be serious for 5 minutes?
Mm-mm. Go on,
No.
we'll try.
Okay. That'd be nice. Been very nice. Grandad, can you be serious for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm sure he said yes, so yeah. Yeah, because I can't. But I'm going to try. So if I go off track slightly, can you bring it back to the correct subject? There's been a lot of things said for those who've been watching YouTube over the last 4-5 months about various pieces of garbage which has been aired out in public. We've all had a whiff of it, and I've heard people talk about how it's affected them and how they feel so bad as a result of it. They feel so low. They're frightened to go onto YouTube and say anything in case someone picks on them. And then the big snowflake came along and told them to grow up. Now, the problem I've got with that scenario, apart from it being not that funny really, is that's what people say to carers when carers go to the doctors and they tell them that they're not really coping very well because the person that they're caring for has taken a really bad turn. The problem I have with that is due to I'm pingy and I'm echoing. Dilly
You
gaff.
sound okay here.
Anyway,
Oh. Okay.
I presume you're talking to
Pinky
me.
and echoey. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You sound okay here, but not to them apparently.
Okay, dog. Okay, well, I'll try again. So, echoey. I mean, does that mean that you can still understand the thread? Or is it your internet connection?
That's better.
Right, so the problem I got with people being told to pull themselves up, etc., by anybody, doesn't matter whether it's the medical profession or whether it's the next door neighbour, the best friend, their aunt and their uncle, their granddad or their nephew. Sorry, Stango, you had to come into there somewhere.
Yeah. What the nephew? Yeah.
It doesn't tackle the problem. All right, and the problem is that they're overworked mentally, so they have their own form of what's the phrase I'm thinking of? Mental health issues, concerns, and if left unchecked, I don't say untreated, but left unchecked, it can develop into serious depression, leading to chronic depression, And then where will the people be that they look after?
Yeah.
I find it rather strange that all of a sudden people can have a lot of depression on YouTube. You know, I mean, I don't say it's not there. Maybe it's because everybody who turns to YouTube and does something in the way of hosting, etc., suffers or has, for want of a better expression, some form of depression or mental health concern.
Yeah.
I don't use the word illness because illness means that it can be cured by
Yeah.
definition. Oh, they've got an illness. One thing will cure them death. Well, mental health isn't. It's a concern. It's not. It's not really an issue. It's an invisible disability, whether that be temporary or more permanent. The carer that looks after somebody, whether they have a physical, as in you can see it, disability, or an invisible disability, meaning you can't see it, just making that clear, doesn't mean to say they don't have mental health concerns as a result, because all they see is what they do. They don't necessarily get out, because if they do manage to get out, then or to have some respite time away, it's because someone's felt sorry for them, because Marjorie's been doing 6 months, 7 months without a break. And if I nip round and I look after Uncle Grandad or whatever, right, at least they can go down the pub for a couple of hours.
Exactly.
I know what I'd do in a couple of. I'd tell them where to get off. I've not seen you for 8 months, 9 months, 10 years, whatever. And now you come round. But
It ain't just that.
that's
It ain't
would
just
be
that,
a reaction.
Grim. It's also, even when we was carers, we was full time 24-hour carers. People didn't realise that. You know, it was 24/7.
Well, that's what I was going to come to.
Oh,
What
right,
defines a carer? Right. If I was to ask you to put it in the chat, then that would be unfair, because different views as to what a carer is. But
Yeah.
by definition, a carer is for somebody who looks after somebody else, whether paid or unpaid.
Yeah.
There are over 300,000 non-registered carers. These are carers who live with somebody that they care for, and they do not become a statistic. It's easy for you to say, Grandad, as a result of nobody knowing about them.
Yeah.
And that's just an
it ain't
estimation.
just that. What about all the underage children? Well, children are underage. All the children what are carers, what are known about, what are looking after
That's
the
what I'm saying
parents.
about this 300,000. It's people who don't see themselves as. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't see that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't see it. They just see it as part and parcel of everyday life.
Yeah.
It's not
Or
until
family life.
much
Yeah.
later on that the children who are carers realise that, because they just think it's the norm. It's what everybody does. But, and then you've got people who are paid carers, who, granted, they do a fantastic job, etc., but they don't go out in the community. 9 times out of 10, when they've finished work, that's it. They put it behind them till next time. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Basically,
Exactly.
what I'm trying to get down to is to propose a topic for discussion, both in the chat, and I'm going to stand away for a bit, and also for people in the chat to give their viewpoint on what if we had the money, the resources, the backing of the government, what do you think we should do to alleviate the stress of all carers?
Right. Well, I want to jump in again. Right.
You don't have to
For
jump
some-
in.
for
Do us a favour.
for
Turn your
some-
mic down a touch. Turn your mic down a
No,
touch.
get away. I can't. Right. I am on that mic. Right. The you've
I'm only
lost me,
joking.
Fred. Now.
Carry on.
Right. I forgot where I was going.
You were
to
about
be
to
honest.
jump in with. You were about
What?
to jump in with 2 feet.
No, I wasn't. No.
What can be
I
done
know
with
where-
carers?
I know where I was. Right. The government. Right. All these unpaid carers. If, like, when I was a carer, when I was an unpaid carer, if that person went into care, it'd cost them loads of money. Why can't they put carers on some sort of wage? Maybe not the full money what it is to put them in one of these places or care home or out, but something just to help the carers along. That's what's missing. All these people doing it free. I think it'd bankrupt them if everyone said, right, we're not doing the caring, put them in wherever. It bankrupts them.
Okay. So, what's the answer then?
To treat
What's the
carers
solution?
fairly. To treat carers fairly and give them, make sure that they do get breaks. Make sure there's a backup team to go in to let them, if they want to go for a jolly down the pub for a night, let them do that. Or if they want to go out for the day so they don't have to be there. Let them children have a little holiday away from whatever they've got. You know.
Time out, yeah. They need time out, don't they? They need.
Yeah.
What about a rate? Okay, so how would you assess that? How would you assess the need?
Well, they try doing it, don't they? They do the odd. Well, they used to. I can't say that for a few years now, but they did used to do that, where they did give you'd apply to a charity, and the charity would give you some money to go have a break, blah blah. You know what I mean? Same as when you needed time out to say go shopping or something. Oh, we'll cover it. We'll cover it, and then you'd once they assess the situation. Oh, well, what you carry him upstairs to bed, do you? Oh, sorry, we can't do that. We're not allowed to. We're not insured. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this as an idea? That wasn't me.
Hang on.
I don't believe.
It's Grandad firing up the
right
Van de Graaff generator.
Something's gone wrong, but I've took you out of that anyway, so you should.
Michael Fox, J Fox, please stop playing your guitar.
He's just turned it up to 11, didn't you? That's what happened there.
No, it was. I know. Well,
you just had to stop and think.
Don't believe it or not.
I mean, okay, electric shock is not on. Electric shocks are not on the table. They've been outlawed.
Quack medicine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Talking of quacks, Grandad.
What?
Sorry, didn't mean that.
Right. Bothered. I don't even know that. I don't give a shit, man.
Your solution would be for the government to take a greater responsibility, provide money which to be available for people to be able to go out on a jolly.
No, well, not necessarily a jolly, but just to go for a meal then. Not to go get drunk. I don't mean to go for a meal.
Okay, time up.
Go visit family.
No, I'm looking at it from the devil's advocate point of view.
Yeah.
Right. If the government was to do that, they'd have to go against a barrage of if you like, people who don't like the idea of taxpayers' money being used to provide respite for carers who potentially have got other people, friends or family, to step in and sit with whoever it is that they're caring for, or arrange, or just give them a call just to see how they are or whatever. This is what the government would be faced with, because the government would be said, well, before you start
all
putting
right
your hand
then.
in your pocket, surely. I'm saying, I did say playing
Yeah, but I'm
devil's
trying to come
advocate,
back at you. I'm
right?
trying to come back at you,
So,
saying if there was put in permanent residence, it cost
excuse
them
me,
a fortune.
Oh, what happened to the respect in here?
Respect.
Hey,
That wasn't in the contract,
seriously?
was it?
Seriously, shouting over somebody? We're not on somebody else's
I'd just
life.
like to say to everybody,
We don't do
this
things
is
like
a very
that.
sore subject with me.
What's
I
this
know it
here?
is, and it's a subject which I think
Go on.
every adult here got £100 to spend on high street, no internet. Lots of people bought
Amazon
Amazon
gift cards. Gift
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah. Gift cards. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, who pays for that? And who makes the money out of it? So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying at all, Grandad. You know me better than that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
but I know you play devil's advocate. But all I'm trying to say is, if I took this on and took it on as a challenge, and someone comes at me saying, "Well, I'm a taxpayer, I'm not funding that," I'd say, "All right, then I'll put them in permanent care then, and it'll cost you thousands." Do you see?
Okay, so for starters, I think that depends on the person that you're looking after, right? Depends on a number of
No matter what. No, sorry, you're
different
wrong.
situations.
To put somebody in residential in any form.
I'm talking about.
Go on.
Not everybody would be accepted. Yeah, but everybody wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah, but there was a one time, wasn't they? They used to have all the different type. I don't want to say it really, but they had the specialized units for every single different sort of thing that had to do with mental illness and such like. I don't like saying the names of the places.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, but these respite residencies, right, were underfunded and overcrowded.
Yeah,
and that's what you'll end up with, because
that's happening now. That's happening
whether
now.
the government is in agreement to doing it.
The government don't pay for it. It's charity.
Sorry?
The government don't pay for it. It's charities that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. I don't dispute that. Right. For somebody who needs to take on, for whatever reason, takes on a carer's role, it's a thankless task, and it's very hard to keep everything together when things are really, really bad. Okay. If we send, surely it would make more logical sense to provide a better backup system to the carer.
Well, it's supposed to be there. It's called the social worker. That's what it's supposed to be.
Which doesn't cost the carer. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be what it is. It's two different things entirely.
Exactly.
When you've got a social worker who has 40 to 80 cases,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
This is where mistakes get made.
Yeah.
Right. So there's not enough social workers. There's not enough people wanting to go into social work because social work is unattractive. There's no money involved in it or anything like that. It's not seen as the right profession. You may get some people with the best of intentions going into a social work job, but then getting restricted by the amount of money that their department has or their money
Yeah.
which is provided by the council.
Can I just jump in? And the last time I
No.
will, and I'm going to mute my mic
Not
after this.
everybody. Yeah.
Right. SB's comment about
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
no, we
say.
do
to
that.
leave people to rot in hospital rather than fund a carer and somewhere to live. I just want to make a point to people what aren't aware of this. Right. If you're related to them, you don't get paid. Right. I was related to the person I cared for, so we weren't paid. Right. Now I've got provisions to take somebody in who's disabled, but they would pay me to do that. Just the same thing, they would pay me. It is ridiculous. And that's my word on it. Right, carry on, and I'm shutting up.
That won't happen, folks. The reason why social services try to sort out the best they can with the worst provisions that they've got is down to potentially mismanagement of finances and the need to raise finances in order to have these services topped up on a regular basis and for funds to be made available. I agree with what Grandad's saying. If you are a carer and if you get feel that you need respite, if you're lucky enough, there might be a charity that can help you out. The problem with getting a stranger into to look after someone for a temporary basis, let's say somebody who's got bipolar disorder, physically there's nothing wrong with them. There's no physical work involved. Nothing. There's no personal care involved in any way, shape, or form. But in order to care for someone who has bipolar affective disorder, you need to know that person. There's no point in going, oh, I've got a certificate which says that I can do this. Certificate means absolutely jack all to the person who you're potentially going to be looking after, because you need to be able to put yourself in their shoes and also have an understanding of the condition and know what to look for and look out for, because stress is something which can't be done, can't be looked after. Now bipolar is easy to manage with meds and proper social care. That's rubbish. You need someone to know. I'm
Someone
not
you
quite
know.
sure
Someone
what
you
you mean
know.
by that.
Someone you know. You mean somebody that the person with bipolar knows to help, or
That would be good if it's feasible. Not to mention the fact that very rare you get anybody who would do that anyway. I mean, that's almost saying bipolar disorder is not a disability, because you can go from being level to having a mania in minutes, and you can also head straight downwards as well within minutes. And for somebody who knows a lot more probably about looking after somebody than with bipolar disorder than most people. I'm fully aware of the problems associated with trying to get any support or any respite care, because it's not possible. It's not possible to attend any meetings which are put on to support people because of where you live and the times that they are. The problem is that social care means exactly that. It is social care. We don't have provisions for social care in the UK, not in it by any means of what it needs. I mean, I'm just using social care as an overview. Bipolar can have an ongoing effect on somebody who is caring for them, because it just continues and continues and continues, and without any respite, you end up going loopy, potentially, or you end up going into a chronic depression, and it lasts for years and years and years. And the treatment of the right meds and somebody who is on medication for bipolar disorder means that certain other medications can't be given to them for any other illnesses, physical illnesses that they may have. For instance, if they have problems with that, because they either don't work as a result, or they cause problems. And before any medication is altered, people need to be fully aware that it needs to be cross-referenced with a psychiatrist, because majority of medication is signed off by psychiatrists only. And this is one of the reasons why getting a diagnosis is of the highest importance. Somebody who has a physical disability within the care side of things tends to be seen as the one that has the priorities. My suggestion is it shouldn't be the person that you're looking after has the priority. It should be the fact that you are a carer. And it's the carer that needs to have the respite. And it should be that should be looked into, and how that is best provided, so that they get a chance to be able to have something to look forward to, something to plan for, and to know that the person that they are caring for is going to be looked after while they're away or while they're having the respite, whether that be just for a couple of hours a week, or whether that be for a couple of days a month, where the person that they're looking after goes into a respite home. So there are services there, but all I'm saying is, who should pay for it? My own opinion is that the government should pay for it. It shouldn't be down to charities, because charities are stretched and they don't have any finances. You can unmute yourself if you wish, Grandad.
I think it's in the chat. I was just reading the chat, actually. You've been reading the chat, Grim?
I've unmuted
been
myself.
having a look through.
Yeah, I was just doing another big text, but never mind. It reminds me of somebody, but I won't go there. Right, go on.
Well, I remind you of somebody.
No. Me doing big long texts.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, say what you want. Yeah, I've never asked you to mute up.
No, because you want to hear me in a meeting when I'm in meetings, honest to God, whether I'm at work, or, when I was at work, I should say, when I was at work, or whether it's, in a meeting with any services what come here, you know, or they don't mind nothing.
Hmm. Oh, I totally understand.
And
But
I
I'm
don't
just
feel
saying
I
that
don't
the
feel for
effect
people.
is
I feel sorry for like Smokey Joe's what he put in about his brother, about having to be constantly watch about hurting himself. You know, I mean, we have young people under the age of 16 in the work where I was, and there was on 24-hour watch. There was locked up, like they couldn't leave the property. All the doors were locked. They couldn't get out. They still got out. They'd get out a window or something. But yeah.
You could say something similar about not necessarily just Tourette's. There's I can't remember what it's called. It's 3 letters and it's a neurological thing that's connected to Tourette's. Somebody that suffers those tics needs constant care, don't they? Because they can cause themselves and others harm if they're left alone for too long. Some severe cases, anyway.
I'm not sure on that one.
I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's. I mean, Tourette's. So it's often think, oh, you're just shouting curse words, and it's no. There's a bit more to it than that. Spasms, and you know, you flinging things around, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's those kind of people, isn't it? Yeah.
But even today, though, you know, when we was kids, you was just a naughty boy. Now you get labelled. They're getting labelled. Oh, they've got
ADHD.
They get a string of things. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, it is all about caring.
But what I'm trying to say, I mean, we're actually getting away from what I was trying to raise.
No, you're on
what
about
I was trying to say is that
it's
the carers that get overlooked.
Yeah, they do. Definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
And that's what I'm referring to. Not the people, not the people they're caring for. Regardless of what the issue is, there is a difference between visible and invisible disabilities. And people only concentrate on the visible.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
They don't look. They don't see the invisible. Therefore, it's well, they need to go here. They need to go there. They need to go somewhere else. That's not the case. The carer is the person who looks after them. It's the carer who knows them best.
That's right.
And the way the current system is that the carer doesn't get much of a say. So even if they're talking about respite care for themselves and they go into a meeting with social services or whoever and they turn around and they say, right, we think that they should go to X or be placed in, or we can arrange for, it's the carers that don't have much say in that because nobody asks them. They are actually invisible to all sense and purposes. They don't have any rights.
All you get told is, oh, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Oh, we couldn't do that.
And
you're 24/7.
In a condescending situations, the majority of carers don't say anything. They live in silence. Because no one would hear them anyway. And this is where the problem is. You know,
there's one carer here, or ex-carer. There's one carer that's got a gob on them when it comes to all this. You don't hear me speak much on these. You can't shut my mouth.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, what I'm trying. Yeah, but most people who aren't known to social services, right, for whatever reason, right, or they are only known to their GP because they don't quite fit the current criteria to get any support from any other agency. If they're living with someone, the people they're living with become their carers, and then they end up in having anxiety about going out or about meeting people. Why? They don't go anywhere. They don't meet
Yeah,
people.
you've got that.
They don't go
confidence, yeah.
shopping, especially now that more and more shopping can be done online.
Yeah,
So they become anti-socialized is the good way
like
of
a
putting it.
recluse.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
I
But all they actually see is what they do. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
can I
By
can I
all
just
means.
can I get, you know, that when I mentioned Tourette's, what I was talking about was FND, functional neurological disorder, FND, right?
Yeah.
And I know I was going to play a video a while back, and I left a link in with a girl with Tourette's that does the sign language. She's in that position. She suffers Tourette's and FND, and her mother and her father are just there constantly. They're constantly having to, keep an eye on her. They have no life. I mean, if they go away, they all go away together. But she's lucky to have a family, isn't she? Her family have become her carers. I guess they gave birth to her and they feel responsible. But the girl's about 22 now, 23, something like that. And, I don't know what support they get. I have no idea what support they get. But that's the kind of situation we're talking about, isn't it? Hello?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't probably. I'm just catching up with some of the chat. I don't want people starting to argue with each other over this. I know it's an emotive subject, but I think everybody would want the best to be given to the carers, and how about giving them some legal rights? If you're a carer and you're in work, whether that be full time or not, there isn't actually any law that protects you.
Yeah.
Other than where it says in the Equality Act is that carers should be considered when making policies in the workplace, for argument's sake.
Can I
ACAS
just
has said the same thing. Yep.
were you saying that? Do you think that's why they don't support carers? Because they want it to go institutionalized, because that's where the money's made. A carer's not making them money, is it? And that's what it comes down to, money.
I think. Well, it's always been the case. Even back in the 50s, 40s, etc.
Yeah.
Most caring was done behind closed doors, and it was like they just took the word of what the doctor said. So that's the point which I'm trying to explain, is that we've grown up with this generation after generation, and it's only in recent years that there's ever been any money put into looking after and ensuring that disabled people have equal rights and are treated fairly with no discrimination.
Yeah,
But the carers aren't in the same situation.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, how many times have you sort of, or anybody's been in a shop and felt uncomfortable when somebody has kicked off for whatever reason in the shop over what you would consider to be something or nothing and having a tantrum?
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know that person, that's the reason why you don't feel comfortable, because it's outside of your normal perspective.
Yeah, comfort zone.
And comfort zone. Yeah. Whether I've seen it on buses. I've seen it, in shops. I've seen it also in the workplace. And I've had people come to me over the last 20 odd years and ask me about their rights as a carer, because they're caring for a child who is disabled, for
Yeah.
instance, and they need to change their working hours around what's happening at home, whether that be the child's going to school or coming home from school. What happens if the transport is late that's picking them up in the morning, etc., because they don't have a car to get them from A to B, you know. So that's all I was trying to say. You know, hey, I don't want anyone falling out in the chat over this. Really don't. Keep it nice and respectful, guys, please. I'm just posing the question. It's it's like, well, what do we do as a country? How do we make change?
Yeah.
You know, should carers have rights, say in the workplace? You know, should they have the same right as somebody who's disabled? Should they be put into the class of of having their own disability, if you like? Because soon, trying to weigh up work life, home life, no socialization, being told, well, you got to go to a Christmas party. Everybody goes, because don't forget, guys, they will be back on the cards this year because it never existed. Well, I don't know the answer. I mean, I'm for the carer having rights, having the carers to have a serious input into how the person they care for should be respected, because they should have a say.
Yeah.
They should be part of that process.
That's
And
right.
I also believe that social services should be funded more. To be honest,
well.
I think it's very low, and it comes
As
out your
you-
council tax.
As what you
You know,
said,
it doesn't come from government funding.
yeah. As what you said, though, like they've cut social services that much. I mean, I ain't got it against the social workers, not one bit. But because they've got that much on, as you said, when they've got, say, 80 clients, and then you'll get 5 clients screaming out at once, whether it's the carer or the, disabled person, it's bad news. They think they're getting ignored anyway.
I think I heard a chat of an apology.
Why?
Yeah, just before you go on, I think I may owe a chat an apology, and this is the difference between me and other people, I suppose. I've only sort of like got one eye on the chat. Not that, well, I am sight impaired, but that's side of the point. So I may not be following it all the way through, so I do apologise. It may have looked as though you were arguing in the chat, and I don't want that. That's what I'm trying to say. But my apologies if I got it wrong. But yeah, it's just food for thought. That was all, and I'm sorry if I got it wrong.
I didn't see nothing wrong with what you was putting, SB.
I just don't want. I thought food for thought. We have that. Yeah, please don't fall out over this, please.
It's like me and Grim when we're talking. Like he he puts the other point over. If I start on something, he'll put it over as somebody who's on the opposite, or the social worker, if you like. I'm just trying to make that clear as well. There's no falling out even up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always play devil's advocate, and I will always put different.
And you always did explain that to me when we first.
And sometimes it's misinterpreted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I can't understand the difference between visible and invisible disabilities. Someone says they got a disability, they've got a disability. But how does that person want to be treated? With respect is the answer. That's all. You know. Anyway, at least it's broke the ice. Anybody for any more on a serious subject, or is it time to move on to?
I find it Can I just say I find it interesting what Gina says there. Being labelled gets to me even more. They say it's because I lost my parents at an early age. I won't take medication for it, and I've just lived with it as best I can. That sounds like that show Derek, and also something that a guy said in the 1960s. Okay, take this loosely. He said, without doctors, we wouldn't have illness. Okay, that's not true. I think he was thinking more down the lines of diagnosis. Like you were saying earlier, we get diagnosed for what you could just feel a bit down and you're diagnosed with one form of this, that, and the other. Yeah, there's so many diagnoses. We're all ill, aren't we? We're all ill, whether it's seen or unseen.
I think what the main problem is that something that's physical is easy to diagnose when it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Something that affects you mentally isn't. So rather than trying to diagnose the problem in order to support the person, right, then it's the label which gets attached to it. Mental health, unfortunately, has got a very negative label attached to it at the moment when people are accused of playing the mental health card.
Yeah.
You know, and it really annoys me.
Well,
because
you know, yesterday,
personally, I believe that we are our own worst enemies.
Do you think? Yeah. I mean, like trauma. Yeah. I mean, that could be subjective, couldn't it? Really, you could be young and see a house burn down. You know, nobody died in it, and it could traumatize you for life just seeing the flames.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid could be so traumatized they can't sleep. They wet the bed or something, and they get given medication for PTSD or something when it was just a fire.
Yeah,
that's just an example.
Yeah,
it's just an example.
Yeah, well, again, it's the way it affects that individual.
Exactly. Yeah. Subjective. Yeah.
Yes, and that's where the problem is. Until there's an alternative to, I mean, it's an incredible alternative. We have to put our beliefs in the medical profession. The problem is it's a postcode lottery.
Exactly.
For everywhere, regardless of what you have, as to how much support you get. There is a minimum standard that every borough, every council has to meet. That minimum standard can be passed on to agencies, but there's no, other than the occasional check on an agency, there's nothing which can force social services' hand to do something about something until it's too late.
Me and Stan go after you've gone,
because social services
night.
Don't.
Grim. Me and Stango was talking last night after you'd left us, right? And I brought up a thing what I've noticed, and I've spoke to other people. Right, in the USA, how come in the USA a psychiatrist is for people who have psychiatrists, they're the normal ones.
Yep.
But in the UK, you're branded.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't ask. This is a rhetorical question. I don't want anyone to answer. I don't feel in any way, shape, or form. But I think that we should have Psychiatric Anonymous as a proper thing, because I bet you there's not many people who have been to see a psychiatrist or has been lucky enough to see a psychiatrist or lucky enough to see a trauma specialist for
Yeah.
mental health
Yeah.
would admit to it.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a
Because
psychiatrist, and he looked
it's
worse than me.
it's the stigma that's attached to it because of what we've grown up with in the past,
Yeah.
and where I believe in freedom of speech, freedom of the right to make our own determination, etc. So why shouldn't I believe in the right to have a say in the treatment that I receive, whether that be for a physical ailment or a mental health issue? Why can't
Yeah.
I access it? Why is there such long waiting lists?
Well, that's
And
what there is with
I've heard
psychiatrists now, isn't it?
quite a lot of.
Can I ask something? A
Yeah.
psychiatrist, is that more like
There's only so many
a
psychiatrists.
like a private kind of thing, as opposed to what is it, a CPN, community
No.
psychiatric nurse? No.
No, a psychiatrist is on the same level as a psychologist, except
Right.
there's different things that they treat.
A psychiatrist
that,
is higher
if-
than your doctor. So than you
Right.
Well, it's higher than your GP, and so is a
Yeah.
psychologist. I'm referring
Yeah.
to psychologists and psychiatrists. They both deal with mental health, but they deal with it from different viewpoints, because there's a trick score as to which way you would go or be placed towards, depending on what you what your signs and symptoms are, and what you express and what you tell. If you don't tell the truth, you're not open and honest, you could get misdiagnosed.
Exactly.
A consultant psychiatrist is someone who gets paid, usually works for Bupa, and during their normal day, they work for the National Health Service.
Yeah.
Or they've retired and they just do some consulting work. But consultants are class. They earn a lot of money. You do get consultant psychiatrists in the NHS. That's because of the length of time that they've been dealing with psychiatry, what papers they've written, etc., and how far they've got. I mean, sometimes it's just a promotion, unfortunately. Other times it's based on what people have actually done and the results as well. Do I believe that there is a medication for every type of mental health illness? No, because sometimes you don't need medication. Sometimes you need psychological support.
Yes.
Other times you do need, because there's a chemical imbalance, and to get that chemical imbalance right, and to keep on top of it in time, and only a psychiatrist will be able to sort that situation out. But the problem is that the brain gets used to the chemicals, and this is where there is a danger area, because it can take up to 3 months or 4 months to change from one type of medication to another, and to get the dosage right.
Yeah, exactly what I was telling you last night, Stango.
The downside,
Yeah.
downside to this, the downside to this is that certain medications which are prescribed to treat mental health illnesses, including bipolar disorder, can have a negative effect on the body physically. So you can end up with your salt levels, which is very dangerous. and 9 times out of 10, you're admitted into hospital as a result, because it's a physical. But then when you go into hospital, because they don't understand on the ward the importance of your meds, they changed them.
Yeah.
And they changed them to bring the salt levels up. In the meantime, because you're not having the right medication for your mental health suffers, and you can go, as I said before, you can go upwards or you can go downwards. Either becomes a problem, and 9 times out of 10, it's misseen as someone being silly, stupid, is the way they put it, and I've witnessed it, to stop being a child and acting like a child, when in the opposite direction, because people aren't trained. And you think someone's a nurse or a doctor, ooh, they're qualified in everything. No, they're not.
Can
I've just picking up on something. I was just go on, Stanley, before I pick something up. Go on.
Yeah, can I just point something out? Though I've got a bit of information here, right? Psychiatrist is the top man who prescribes meds and diagnosis. A psychologist is therapy only. Both work for the NHS and private.
That's what,
Right.
yeah, but at the end, they're at the same level. They're treated at the same level, because you can have consulting psychologists, and you can also have consultant psychiatrists. But they are sort of working towards bringing the two closer together. Now, a couple of things which have been mentioned in the chat that I just want to pick up on. There is no known natural treatment for most mental health, or remedy, for most mental health conditions. There are old wives' tales. Yep.
Yeah. Are you sure? Hang on. There are psychologists is a consultant. So I've been told that a consultation psychologist don't exist.
You can have a consultant psychologist because they work for themselves, and you can also have a head of who takes the title of consultant. A consultant is usually someone who's called Mr., not Doctor.
Yeah.
The trouble is with psychologists is in some areas of psychology, not every psychologist is trained or has the same experience as the next. I mean, would you say that somebody who has a bereavement needs a psychiatrist or a psychologist?
Either
or, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're talking about medication. Yeah.
That's the psychiatrist, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. But that's the point that I was making about doctors changing medication without consultation with the psychiatrist that prescribed that medication.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen too many times.
Talks about, yeah.
It takes 7 years of a doctor training and specialization to be a psychiatrist. It takes literally no experience to be a psychologist.
Exactly. These jobs within the industry, in that side, which don't need no qualifications whatsoever. It's weird.
So is a counsellor a psychologist or a counsellor?
I think it's just a
counsellor. Where would you say?
Really, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I would have said. But a psychiatrist,
because of the lack of experience or
treats
training,
the whole Yes, depending on the level of the training. Yes, anyone can call themselves a psychologist. I could call myself a psychologist. Why? Because I'm good at psychology.
Counselor, yeah.
Psychology is a trick of the mind. You know,
Yeah.
people talk to me. I don't give answers. All right.
Grim,
Yep.
what do you think? I've often thought about hypnotherapy. Has anyone got any views on that?
That's interesting. Do you feel you have to be susceptible to that kind of thing, or you've got to at least go in there wanting it? Which is kind of
I don't know. I don't know. I've thought about it.
right. What do you mean? I'm just reading something here. So we can get a course at
I'm
Guildford
not watching
College.
the chat, so you're seeing things that's coming up. You know.
Right. A counsellor is just a voice, in comparison to, like, say, a psychologist. A counsellor is just a counsellor, basically.
Yeah, like a voicing platform type thing.
Yeah. You don't need much to get
Somebody who can listen.
Counselling. Yeah, like a Samaritan maybe, but with a bit more of a voice. But
No.
not an
No,
analyst.
yeah.
Not an analyst, I guess, is it? Like a psychologist is a kind of analyst, isn't it? And a psychiatrist is the
okay. So it depends again on which area you are, because it's a postcode lottery. But let's say, for instance, as a carer, I feel that I need some support because it's affecting mental health. The GP has gone to the maximum that they can prescribe, right, in the way of drugs, and feels that it would be a good idea if I was passed on to somebody else, so to speak, further up the line, right, because of the medication. During that process, they find that I have, after a number of years, the reason why I'm depressed is that I don't actually have chronic depression. It's because I have one of the 34 different types of bipolar affective disorder. The worst thing that you can give me is antidepressants, because it would send me all the way down. It would have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
However, in small doses, is with a mood, right, that would help me from the point of view that it will help treat the depression, but also help stabilize my moods, right? Which would then mean that I would be able to attend CBT sessions or counseling sessions, which would enable me to have better skills to deal with things that trigger other things. Because it's always going to be a domino effect. You take one of those things out and you fall over. Especially if there's no support there, you crash. And this is what my concern is regarding carers. I still want to bring it back to carers. We've gone off on a tangent, which we always do.
Can I just point out something about the a psychologist?
To sort of bring this to. Go on.
A psychologist needs training. A counsellor does not, apart from a few hours under their belt. That's the difference between them. And on top of that, a counsellor is not legally allowed to give advice. That's the difference between the counsellor and the psychologist.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they can give people alternatives, but they can't tell them which one to take.
The counsellor.
A counsellor can look at alternatives for somebody, but cannot tell somebody what's best for them.
Yeah, that's. I think that's right. Cannot legally allowed to give advice. A bit like a Samaritan again, isn't it? Right. But they can only listen.
Yeah, or the Samaritans have listening lines 24 hours a day. And it's really for people to talk. and that's what it's about. And someone at the other end of the phone listening. But if there's alternatives within that conversation that they can come to, they can say, well, you could do this, you could do this, you can get support here or there or wherever. You with me? Because one of the things they do is once they've been able to listen to them, they will point them in the right direction. So they're more like a signposter. They point people in different directions as to which way they can go to get help. But ultimately, it is down to the person to take that step, and that's the biggest step that they'll ever make at the end of the day. But I'm hoping it's not getting really serious in the chat here, because obviously I'm looking at it through StreamYard, so I'm seeing it quite late.
Yeah,
Good
you can
news
say
is
hi.
we've had no bots yet.
Rasta's joined us, and Mary C's joined us. We can say hi to them.
Well, everybody who's joined us, everybody who's had an interesting conversation in the chat.
We'll see.
I
See what
really don't
see
want.
what SB. You're aware of that, aren't you? SB. I've had training in counselling, psychology, and psychiatric nurse. She's done a lot of training in mental hospitals and worked in mental institutions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mental institutions. You're showing your age.
Institutions, yeah. I've been in a few of those when I was in my middle ages, back in the 1800s.
The thing is, though, when you think about it, that's where a lot of people would have ended up. A lot of us lot would be in them just for being labelled. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's weird.
Lots of people have been mislabeled. I mean, oh yeah, demonic possession, right?
Yeah, if you go back, if only 20, 30 years ago, people were still being placed into, as you put it, mental institutions for having epilepsy. I mean,
yeah,
that's got absolutely nothing to do with anything. It's just they didn't understand, didn't know what to do.
A bit like Tourette's,
like
Tourette's.
Anyway, yeah. I will say one thing: the biggest winner out of anything medical is the pharmacy by far.
The what? Sorry,
because they're the ones who make the serious money.
You cut out there. Did you say the pharmaceutical industries?
Is the yes, the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones. I mean, and as it comes, just to end this, I don't agree with labeling anybody with anything. I've had so many labels stuck on me over the years, and I still get them. I agree with Gina. We shouldn't be labelled in any way, shape, or form. And this is where part of the problem is. I've heard kids today in supermarkets quite recently when I've heard them turn around and say, okay, that came about because of the Spastic Society, and they had to change the name as a result, because it was, I mean, that's a good thing about political correctness, I suppose, because it killed that name off as a result. I can't remember what they changed it to now off the top of my head. But there's been a lot of changes within charities because of PC coming in. I'm not promoting political correctness, but I do think that we should get rid of the labels. And labels does not mean medication at all. From a personal point of view, not my personal point of view, but from a personal point of view, I can understand why people would see that.
Put the link in the chat, Grim, please.
Rasta, you want the link? Are you sure?
No.
I've got to figure out why you can't do this.
You need to do the settings when you first come into StreamYard. You need to go into the settings, and then you can assign things like that, or you can pin it to the top, can't you?
Oh, I think, yeah. Last time I tried to do that, I crashed again. Right, it's there for you. Hopefully, you'll get it soon.
Yeah, it's in.
But I mean, that's sort of like the first hour late. I agree, but I didn't really want to be going on too long for this. I would like to come back to it another time.
It's a very good subject.
Putting it out on the as a podcast.
Yeah, it's a very good
people
subject.
Wanted to do that,
but it can be a bit touchy, I suppose. If you know what I mean.
It can be. It's emotional.
Yeah. SB, would you be willing to come on the radio without, where no one can see you, but you can talk and put your point? If you don't like coming up on YouTube.
Hello.
I'm hoping you're coming in this time, Roscoe.
I am coming in, aren't I?
Yeah, you're in.
Loud and clear, mate. Loud and clear.
Champion. Beard's getting big now, isn't it?
Aye. Hey, I'll tell you something, Rasta. I was thinking about this CBD oil or whatever they call it, CBT. I don't know.
Aye, CBD, aye.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that.
You should. Everybody needs to. It used to be a well-known. Like everybody used to do it, before they made it illegal, like one way or another. But But yeah, I've got. It's all legal, the stuff that I've got, like as well. It's nothing illegal as such.
Yeah.
So I've got like have you heard of Manuka honey?
No.
Yeah, Mucka. Yeah, it's a good honey, isn't it?
It's really good on its own. It does a lot of things on its own.
That's the one that's high in peroxide too, isn't it? It produces peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, which can be healing.
I don't know.
Well, I think it all does, but I think what is it again? Manuka.
Manuka.
That's it. I think that's higher in producing hydrogen peroxide.
Well, as it happens, the person who makes this stuff keeps her own Manuka bees, and I've asked if I can buy some pollen, and my friend's going to look into it for us, as well.
Yeah.
And she makes her own CBD as well. She's just a hippie, she doesn't do anything like bought or, does things her own ways, So, I can contact you through Telegram anyway, like, granted. So, about that, or if anybody else wants any. It's not cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than it would be, and it's a lot more pure than it would be by a big pharma company,
Yeah. I've started buying local honey because I didn't realize how much syrup they put into your cheaper honeys. It's just not pure, is it? They sweeten it up with all this syrup, and you can tell the difference, can't you? You can.
I'll tell you another thing with local honey. The local honey that you get, because the bees hang around the same place as you, they're like feeding on the same plants, so to speak. That you're used to in your immune system. It makes your immune system stronger with local honey.
Yes, I totally agree there. Well, this is what I've found out quite recently, actually. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I buy local.
She's about 15 miles away from me, so to have Manuka bees 15 mile away. Quite local, like, in it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for the benefits. I mean, I used to buy Tasmanian leatherwoods, but that was just because I used to like the taste of it and the smell and everything. But yeah, that wouldn't be from, it wouldn't be homegrown or home produced, would it?
Yeah. So you'll just gotta let us know if anybody wants them. Like, well, basically, the last one of these 25 mil cubes I got was £120 is what I paid, and it's meant to last a month, but I've had it about 6 months now. You know, I just have a bit when I really need it, you know, instead of every day. But I've got a bargain. I've got like 6 of these things for about half the price, so I don't want like full price for them either, you know. I just want to be able to afford to pay them when I, because I take it, you know. You know, when you're offered great things and you just think, oh, you know, it's medicine. This will keep us going for years, you know. Well, then you realise, shit, I can't afford that.
To be honest, that's when I mostly use honey. So if I've got a cold, if I'm feeling a bit down, honey and lemon all the way. I don't use paracetamols, nothing like that. No, nothing like that. Just honey and lemon. And I've said this before. If I've got the man flu, I'll put a drop of brandy in it too. Honey, lemon, and brandy. That's what's it.
I've heard whiskey. Yeah, you're making a tincture basically, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah, I like making tinctures anyway. I'd use vodka in my tinctures. You know, the stronger the better, isn't it? But yeah, just little bottles with vodka and let the herbs steep in there, and for about 3 months normally, isn't it? Or longer the better. As long as
yeah, similar to making slow gin, isn't it? You know?
Slow gin. Yeah, it's a similar method, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of procedure, you know, you just let it ferment, and all the goodness goes into the spirit that you're using, but it doesn't have to be taste. You know, it's all the goodness as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it strips away what it needs. And it's the same with not tinctures. What's the other word? Oils basically. I think the Romans ointments. Yeah, the Romans used to use it. They'd steep their herbs in olive oil, wasn't it? They'd use olive oil. Now people use almond oil and things like that.
Popular ones, coconut.
Or coconut, yeah. Coconut's a good one too. Yeah.
Well, you know, like coconut oil, it's really absorbent, and you know, like it absorbs things a lot easier than a lot of other oils, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when, for instance, when people are making like herbal butter, instead of using butter, which is very good at absorbing, they found that coconut oil works a lot better. You know, so it becomes a lot stronger, and you don't need as much.
Yeah.
And
I use a lot of,
you know, I was going to say I wouldn't worry about talking about this on YouTube.
No, it's all alternative. Have you made balms too? I mean, you use the same process, don't you? But you throw, you put in beeswax to make it into a balm. You put in the beeswax, and it makes it a more solid. You can make lip balm out of it. It's just the beeswax will give it a bit more.
Beeswax. I bought them. Yeah. I bought one of them, and I tried to say that it was some caramel bar, like some. I've nearly.
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Yeah.
But I bought it for the crossbow strings. You know, you got to use them on crossbows and that to keep the strings. Right. Healthy, you know. I like crossbows, you know.
I like crossbows too. Now, if you got one of those for sale, send it over with the honey. I used to have one of those, not Black Widows. I can't remember the little hand, the single. Yeah, I had one of those when I was.
Yeah, I've got one of them with the cock handle on the back.
Yeah. That was fun. They were.
Well, I've got the first one I ever bought a crossbow was a Barnett Rhino, and it had telescopic sight on.
Sorry,
had,
that
like,
was the one. That's the one I had. It was the Barnett. Yeah, it was a Barnett.
Yeah,
definitely
and
a
you
Barnett.
could take the bow bit off as well, and legally carry it in 2 hands. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, you can anyway, but people are a lot less scared if you've got something in 2 hands rather than in one, you know.
What was the regulations that was changed about 2 years ago on crossbows?
Well, you just got to be 21.
Oh, is that all they changed? That's all it was. I thought they were
Well,
they were
that's
trying
all
to.
it's ever been.
Oh,
But
okay.
probably now, if you're buying from a shop, like a gun shop or something, they maybe need to do some. Well, I don't know why, like, because there's no laws on it, you know.
Okay, you don't have to show ID, register it, or anything like that.
Well, when you buy a DVD player these days with Freeview on or something like that, you've got to register it. So maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you go there, like, if you buy it online, I don't think you need to do anything like that, because we bought that one online. It was only 30 quid. And it's 50 to 80 pounds, depending on the string.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but it'll fire a bolt in a 30-yard straight line anyway, you know.
Oh well, fair play. Do you hunt or do you just use it for sport?
Well, I've bought them just for sport, you know.
Yeah.
You know, thinking, well, I might need this for some zombies in the future.
Yeah, I've got a pointed stick. It's about 6 foot long. That's all I've got, and that's all I need, I think, for the zombies. Straight in the eye. You've been watching The
Depends
Walking
on
Dead,
which
haven't
pub
you?
you're in at the time.
Was it the Winchester? Yeah. To
I
the
collect
pub.
guns and things, you know, so just air rifles, legal things, you know.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a lot.
Good
I
night,
had quite a
Anne-Marie.
collection.
Oh, sorry, Marie.
Marie
Get right in
C.
a minute. Can we have a little bit of fun before because I don't want to be on too late. I've had a very long day, including a long ass drive. So
That's why I come on to cheer you up, man.
I'd like to go on a more of a happy note. You know, we've had a serious debate.
Okay.
Or discussion, as you say.
Hey, Grip.
This is, at the end of the day, this is where people come to. Yep.
Would you like a premiere to my video? I've made a video and I've not released it yet. It's not as serious as it sounds. It's just a follow up to my isolation video. You can watch it if you like.
No problem. As long as everybody mutes up, it's fine. Yeah.
All right. I'll get it ready for you. Hang on.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll sort of introduce it.
Okay.
Following Stangu's recent appearance on YouTube, producing videos, I wouldn't like to say what sort of video within the confines of YouTube and their guidelines.
Oh, I thought.
Now, whether you think that make sure you. I'm not finished yet. Give me a second. You are not allowed in a panel. That's all right. I was late to the party as well, Marie. Have a good evening. What's left of it. Getting back to Stangu's world premiere. All right. Not been seen anywhere on any social media platform before. I have no idea what it's actually about, but I believe the last time we did something as good as this, it sank.
Like a Led Zeppelin. Yeah. This one's Titanic
voyage.
too. Yeah. It's only 4 minutes. Don't worry. It's not
Stangu,
gonna-
hey, I'm going to. Oh well, I'll tell you
All
what.
right.
That was the quickest sinking I've ever heard.
Here we go. Then let's put it on full
Right,
screen.
I think.
You ready?
Why? Right. Okay. Yep. Yes. I think. I'm not sure.
Ninja.
Oh, is it shared yet? Because my screen's froze.
Yeah, it's there, is it? It's there. Oh, yeah, it's there. All I've got to do is press play. If you're ready, Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
let's play it.
Yep.
Stangy, well, how are you? If you saw my previous video, I said I was going to document my experience with the dreaded virus, right? But it didn't happen.
Nope.
No, but just to fill you in again, my son and 3 of his friends tested positive for a lateral flow test. So we decided to isolate. And my son tested positive for about 5 days, but had no symptoms at all. At least one of his friends, who is double vaxxed, came down with it really bad. You know, the weird taste, the cough, the temperature. She got it real bad. His other friend, we think he was milking it a bit. But my son had no symptoms at all and tested positive, where I tested negative. And I didn't have any temperature, cough, or anything. But for the entire week, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I lack of life, total lack of life. I have to take time off work. Yeah, for the whole week, but tested negative. So I don't know what to say about it. You know, there was no real bad effects from it. Maybe it's getting weaker, or it's susceptible to others. I mean, considering she was doubled, then why did she get so bad? I'm not sure. But how safe are you?
Unfortunately, there are people in the country who refuse to get.
That's not a good sign, is it? The white Republicans keep it real in those states. Go, oh, they hate black and Latino people? Yeah, okay, man, I like being number 49. We're number 49.
Yeah, this is old news now. But I'll tell you what, look at some of the incentives they had in other countries.
Local lawmakers are thinking of various incentives, like in New York, Wayne County specifically, they have implemented a Star Wars theme.
And if you're not a Star Wars fan, hello, Vienna.
Come for the vaccine, stay for a little something extra. A Vienna brothel is providing COVID-19 vaccinations and giving those who take up the offer a 30-minute session with a, quote, lady of their choice.
And do you remember all that stuff when they insisted when you went to a shop, you wear a face mask? If you haven't got one, there are alternatives.
When you really have to go to the bathroom, but you're not allowed in without a mask.
That reminds me of a customer that came into the shop about a year ago when everybody was in full panic mode. He didn't have a mask, and I watched him, and he was like, oh, went out to his car. He pulled out a couple of those, you know, the big elastic bands like the postmen wear. I saw him take his shoe off, take his sock off, put it over his nose and mouth, and hold it round his head with the elastic bands. How crazy is that? Schools. I'm glad I wasn't at school through this. Check this out.
You can't make us stay here. This is a violation of our freedom. Who's with me, guys?
So how far are people willing to go to protect themselves and their loved ones? Monkey see, monkey do. If you're going to act like a cunt, you might as well look like one too. See ya.
That was good. Apart from putting me over the panel.
Stangu, you'll have to unmute
Me on mute.
Yeah, you're done now.
Huh?
You're all right.
What if I?
Did you not mute?
You were on mute. That's why I was
Grim?
asking.
Grim.
Oh,
Yes, I did.
All right.
I didn't need to turn
I
the
was
mic.
getting
I
an
turned
echo
it.
through.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
All right, and I was muted.
It was.
Well, I
It
saw
was
everyone
coming.
muted.
I was muted for a
You
little
were
while
muted.
because I was coughing on. Right.
Yeah, I muted Stangu, and that's how come it stopped.
Ah, right.
oh, all right. Okay.
It was cool.
So yeah, that was the first attempt. At,
No, that was good. That.
All right, good. It was a little bit jumpy, probably because of the StreamYard.
Yeah.
thing,
It
right,
is.
but
possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make more. I don't know where they're going. I mean, that
Or
was
it
just
could have
like,
been the internet connection.
it could have been. It could have been. It was all right where I was seeing it anyway.
That I
maybe-
actually thought was. I thought it was really good, but I want to know where the presentation gear came from.
What presentation gear?
It looked like you were dressed up as a ninja.
that's what I was saying.
That's why I am a ninja. That's why I always dress. I'm a ninja. I really am. That's why I don't show my face on it. There's no point. I'm
But
just a shadow. I told you I shadowed the
should
Grim
have stayed in the
Reaper.
shadows, sir.
I
Oh,
should,
that's
yeah.
you should be called that. The shadow.
The shadow of the Reaper.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
maybe.
good one.
Yeah.
You know the
Psychic.
the Zello thing.
Yeah.
Do you know the Zello thing that I've been keeping up with
Oh,
the
the
convoy
CB,
on?
the CB thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I recorded it on Saturday night on the camcorder, just pointing it at the screen, and like the energy was insanely positive and like crazy. And like I've got over like an hour's footage of it.
Oh no, it's just downbeat.
And like people are just now like just using it as like a chat channel, talking bollocks, you know. And people are going on like, what's going on with the convoy, you know? And, well, it is happening, but there's just not as many positive people going on as on Saturday. But
What is it he's recently went very much?
never mind, man. I don't know. It's carbon dioxide, man. Your own breath.
All right.
What
I
you
guess
breathe out.
on a lighter note, what goes on Monday? What's
SB.
Monday? It's the,
Can I just can I just address it?
yep.
This Monday. Has it got a Y in it?
That's yeah. Did you want to
it got
say
a Y
something
in
first
it?
before? It's got a Y in it, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, just something which SB put in the chat regarding agency nurses. Not all agency nurses do the same work in the hospital. Some of them do even less and get paid 4 times the amount.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because they are a third party working there, there's not really much anyone can. They can't get paid till the end of the shift anyway. The only thing they can do is to request that they don't send the same person.
I've had an idea, you know. Instead of expecting the NHS to pay for people, like, you know how you get charities and loads of people care for, like, certain people in charities, so they give, like, millions, but the charities get nothing. Well, if this charity was to give 100% to the workers, wouldn't need the NHS, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just hire these people, get them paid, and the people know they're paying them, you know? Just like £1 by a person or something, even like 50 pence. You know?
The thing is, Rasta, it's them CEOs at the charities, etc. That's where money goes,
know,
because
I know.
you're allowed to still live, you know. But
They might even get.
the law's wrong.
No, what I mean is the charity. You set it up, and you make sure that you don't profit from it. It's
Yeah, you just take a living, meaning that you're running
well,
it.
no, you don't even do it for a living for yourself. You're just setting up a charity for the people to pay the workers for the people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see
No.
what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So 100% profit. Well, 100%
Goes in.
of the charity goes to people instead of like 0.11% or something like that. You know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And
Personally,
well, I reckon,
my opinion, yeah, my personal opinion is that I'd ask the question, why do we need charities when we've got a
Exactly.
government that should provide?
well, the government's not doing it.
They charge us enough tax.
Well,
Oh, I
Well,
know that.
No,
I'm not
it's a
talking
full-
about
You know-
which flavour you like of the government. I'm talking about the government itself not providing.
I
The
know.
National Health Service was originally set up so that everybody could have access to medical aid. That was the reasoning why, because beforehand, only those with money could afford medical treatment, or if there was a doctor who's prepared to not charge or not charge so much, depending on the person's circumstances. But
Yeah.
medical help was really for the rich, and you know the world did admire our National Health
Did it
Service
not?
at one time because there was nothing. Now, because they've opened up privatisation, it's about money.
Did somebody not make the National Health
That's
Service
the problem.
privately anyway? And then they made it for like war heroes coming back and things like that.
No. It came after. It was in 1946, I think it was. Off the top of my head, if I remember history right, 46 or 47. It was brought in for everybody, not just returning survivors
Well, I meant
of the war.
everybody, you know, because like, a lot of civilians got injured as well, you know.
Yeah, it was probably the only good thing that came out of the war, the Second World War.
And if it was
but
privately,
because the Allies won the war, we defeated fascism. You know, I don't think so. Somehow.
well, no. Just
Especially over
stop
the last,
doing it for a while,
couple of years.
Right.
Yeah, but like I say, I'm hoping to be able to move on to a little bit of fun and games of some description. Not that I'm asking Stan Goo to think of anything off the top of his head.
Oh,
right.
right.
I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got to be up early.
Okay.
All
right.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah, of
ask
course.
you,
No,
Randy.
you're busy all day tomorrow.
Yeah. Right.
Can you
Also,
fix
been
my
a nice
laptop?
chat.
Can you fix me laptop, please, Grandad? I need a CMOS battery in it.
A what?
A CMOS battery, internal memory battery.
I could do them.
It's a Toshiba Tekra M10.
Yeah. I can do that. Yeah, no problem. We can sort that.
Right, champion.
Okay. Right, I'm off, and I'll see you all. It's been nice seeing everyone in chat as well.
All
Right.
right.
Speak to you all soon.
Cheers, Grandad.
All right. Bye.
Cheers, Grandad. I'll
Catch
speak
you
to you
later,
sometime
man.
tomorrow. Ta-da.
Got some moral dilemmas here. If you want to have a talk about one of those,
Yeah,
let's
why
find
not?
a simple
Something
one.
light-hearted.
Yeah, let's find a simple one. Well, I don't know if they're light-hearted. I'm not sure of some of them. I'll try and find one that's not so bad.
I actually thought, although it was a
Uh,
subject, it was a serious subject. I thought we might be able to get some lightheartedness into it.
You keep cutting off a bit, like I keep
Yeah,
hearing
I apologise for that. I
words.
moved away from the microphone.
I mean, this is not light-hearted, but okay, let's give this one a go. Your neighbor kills somebody very close to you. You know beyond any shadow of a doubt that it was he, but the justice system lets you down and he's allowed to go free. What do you do, if anything? Do you take the law into your own hands?
Contact somebody you know. Just that kind of thing.
Okay, so who screwed up is the first question I would ask on that one. I'll talk about myself.
What was the problem?
Right.
What got it to that point?
Why do I feel? Is it the prosecution that didn't have enough evidence, or is it that they screwed up and they were allowed to get off with a technicality?
Well, yeah, well, yes, I guess. Yeah.
These are the questions that I would ask myself. You know, I don't agree with taking the law into your own hands. But can you say it again? Because Smokey didn't catch it. Okay.
Your neighbor kills someone very close to you. You know beyond any shadow of a doubt that it was he. But the justice system lets you down and he's allowed to walk free. What do you do, if anything at all? Do you take the law into your own hands?
The he bit kind of rings bells, makes you think about the he bit in that. You know, instead of him, it's he.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to think around about that he thing.
What, you mean the justice let him down and he's allowed to go free?
There isn't an answer on the back of the card.
That it was he instead of him. You said that it was he instead of him or them.
Oh.
The he bit kind of just like stands out in the question. I don't know why.
Okay.
You know, it might be part of the answer.
Well, it's not. No, it's not a question. It's a moral dilemma. It's just opinion. You have an opinion on what would you do? Would you take the law into your own hands? Would you do nothing, or would you do something else?
Maybe have a little word with the person, and
no, you'd fucking phone someone.
No, well, I would just phone somebody actually. It was into that sort of thing, and I'm not saying anything.
Somebody who,
if it was me, I'd move the fuck away.
Yeah.
Well, I've had similar circumstances where me neighbours have killed things of mine.
It's trucks.
As such, so it's like something really close to me. And what did I do in them circumstances? You know?
You tried to report it.
I tried to report it and it didn't fucking go anywhere.
They've got you arrested.
But I got arrested and then I seen the light and I got this place, so... And then found new neighbours. Like that.
From hell.
From hell.
But kid, I'm...
No, like, you know...
That to me seems to be about the right thing to do. Yeah, take the law into your own hands. I'm sure you gave someone a few slaps for hassling family or neighbours. No.
Yeah.
Is the answer to that. I've never bothered about them. I believe in the judicial system that we have. I'm not saying it's the best in the world. I'm not saying it's ideal in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's the problem with this question. It was at fault, wasn't it? It was at fault. He was definitely guilty, and they they let the person down because he walked free.
Exactly. Well, that's happened to me personally.
They're giving loads of people suspended.
They wouldn't put cameras up. They said I had to pay for my own cameras to get put in, even though when they're sorting out a crime and watching people. But the thing is, he was very good friends. Like the dad was very good friends with the police commissioner, the local police commissioner, and well, they shake hands in stupid positions around there, don't they? You know.
Yeah.
Potential. Yeah. Yeah, but if you take this out of the perception of something which has happened to you,
yeah,
if you
but
look
you would
at it
feel
from a
for
point of
somebody
view that,
close to you, though. That's what I mean.
I mean, if you witnessed the murder, therefore you know without any shadow of a doubt in your own mind that person is guilty. I can understand why you cheesed off with the system.
In reality, do you want to know my real
chances
thing?
are they are probably yeah, go on.
Karma plays, you know, life sorts itself out, as I've found.
So you'd leave it then? You just leave it. But the thing is, if you remember, the question said he killed somebody. It didn't say murder. How about if it was a accidental death, like, or a drunk driving, or you know, it didn't say murder. It just said killed somebody.
Yeah, you know, karma comes around. What goes around comes around. You know,
I wish I could believe in karma. I really do. I really wish I do. I mean, I know we've all experienced. Well, I don't know about all of us. You must have witnessed poetic justice. That's quite satisfying.
Well, yeah. Well, recently,
isn't that
with all this rain, with all this rain,
it's karma, but
I can't really hear.
If there was karma,
if it was a drunk driver, yeah, just picking up on what you're saying, Stango. If it was a drunk driver, right, and they kill someone, right, as a result, they are obviously at fault because they were drunk and in charge of a vehicle. However, if it was somebody who was just under the limit, therefore tested negative and was charged with, say, reckless driving, anything they get as a result of that wouldn't be the same. And you would see them as getting away with a slap on the wrist and walking free. You know, so it's down to perception. It's down to what that person is guilty of.
Yeah.
And if you believe that they took somebody's life and they shouldn't have done, and you believe that that life is so sacred that you need to do something, then yes, I can understand that.
Okay, how about this? I mean, I know this from a personal story, right? Hi, Kathy. A street fight, right? Two lads, young lads, 19-year-olds, had a bit of beef going on, and one of the lads took a swung and hit the other lads just on the side of the head. Good punch, knocked him down. They both went home. The lad that was punched, he went home, and had a brain hemorrhage. They tried to get into hospital, and he died on the way to hospital. And the lad that punched him, he went to jail. I mean, they got him. He didn't walk or anything, but he went to jail. But it was accidental. It was just a punch. He was defending himself, and he went to jail. The family hounded them out the area. Said like, you murdered our son, which is you would, wouldn't you? Hounded the family out the area. He went to jail. I mean, it was quite unfortunate, really, because like it was just a beef between two lads, and he just happened to strike an unlucky blow on him.
No, because that's one of the reasons I don't fight. Well, like not because I've killed somebody, because I'm scared in case I'll kill somebody, because I know I've got a hard hit.
Yeah.
And I love boxing. There's a couple of boxers I know, like, said, "Oh, just have a bit dance around the pool table and take your best shot.
Oh,
Well, I ended up busting his nose. Yeah. And the other one, I bust his lip and he cracked his in the rib and broke me rib. I go, what? You said I could get you? You know, well, they weren't expecting me getting them, like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, do you want a simpler one? This is a simple moral.
I wasn't ready.
This one's an easy one, right? Not an easy one, but it's just a simple answer, right? You're buying groceries and the total is £8. You hand the cashier a £10 note and she gives you £12 in change, having thought that you gave her a 20. Do you tell her or do you pocket the tenner?
If it comes from a local shop,
I tell
Yep.
them.
you tell them.
But if it's
But if it's a supermarket, you think, yeah, I won the lottery, man.
Fair play, fair play. I asked this question the other night on another stream, and I think most people said that if it's a big company, we'd put it in your pocket. Because I also asked, I said,
Sainsbury's floor the other day and kept it.
Plus, we've got a Nectar card, right? Well, I've got this Nectar card. And
Okay, so
15 quid,
the answer.
But anyway. Yeah. So
the answer to the question from a moral point of view, right, is of course you'd be totally honest and explain the situation. That's the simple answer.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being open and honest to somebody in a corner shop against a food chain? Because both have the same policy. Any shortages is covered by the staff in charge at the time.
Somebody pointed this out about the tills being registered. If that particular till is under, then the cashier on that till will get questioned or whatever about it in the big store. You know, because they. Pardon?
I used to work on tills, and that's not really true.
No, it's not.
No, it depends on the store. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, I would. Yeah, I think the majority said
it depends on what the contract says, terms and conditions of working.
Of course,
I used to always be open because people used to give us little tips and penny and stuff like that.
As I say, there's for the member of staff, if it's short, then you would hope that the company would not take any action against the individual. But worst case scenario is to go put the hand in the pocket. The other scenario is if they are short, it can lead to disciplinary action, which could ultimately
with Sainsbury's though
to them losing their job.
Of course.
If
places like Sainsbury's
at the end of the day, people to get people under
can't just one person.
Yeah. No, that's not the issue. The issue is if the till is short, you've got no way of being able to check in a big store, or even for that matter, necessarily in a small store, which customer you gave the mistake to in their pocket. So the issue is the person receiving the extra 12 quid plus the goods, because it's 20 quid in total if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
First of all, that's theft, right? Because you got it for nothing and you're taking it out. And also you could, by not being open and honest, that cashier could end up losing the job as a result of the till being under, because they could have a zero tolerance on it. It depends on the terms and conditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Well, yeah, but if you either way, the answer to the question, right, is from a moral point of view. Of course, you're open and honest, and you contact the store to say that you've been given too much change, and of course you're going to go back to the store and hand the money in, right? And that person is not going to they'll get told off, but they're not going to lose the job. because
Yeah,
the store
yeah.
got everything back, right?
Yeah.
However, if you think about it, you'd actually need to give them the 12 quid, right? Plus the original, because they gave you they gave you the change, so you'd have a legitimate claim for having to travel back in time, etc., which would cost the store more than 12 quid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I've seen all sorts of things pulled.
Well, on a similar note,
I mean,
I'm still on about
would I do it? I don't know.
You don't. You might just put it in your pocket and not even notice. But then if you saw it, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on I think it depends on the cashier as well. Really, imagine if imagine if it was a miserable sod serving you, and they just annoyed you, and then they give you the wrong change. That would be like karma, wouldn't it? It'd be like satisfying to take it. It's like, yeah, get disciplined. That's going in my pocket. That's for treating me like a whatever. Yeah. But what else? We led on to safe.
Lose your job. You should have been nicer to me.
Exactly. It's all subjective, isn't it? Okay. If you're walking down the street, right, there's a cash point. You spot the cash points, and you notice like a bunch of notes, like 40 quid hanging out of the cash points, right? What do you do? I know what you're meant to do.
Make sure to stick your head upside down and look up at the camera and smile while taking the cash.
You pretend to be making a withdrawal.
You can see that, can't you?
Well, aren't you meant to go and take it into the bank?
Evening, guys, on the audit.
All right, eyes on.
I'm only joking there, you know. If there was anybody walking away, which was like obvious that they were just being there, because people are stupid these days. They've got too much on their minds and things. They do mistakes like that, you know. And well, I would class them. I would like run after the person. Well, run, shout.
yeah.
Excuse me. Here's the key to the bank. Here's your money. You know, I am not honest. Like, I keep telling people I found cars with like keys sticking out the doors. Like,
that's true.
all the shops nearby, like when I've been like leaving and that, you know. And like a woman with her lights on, I goes out just last week. I says, "Do you realise you've left your lights on?" "Oh no, I've got a problem. The car just does what it wants." I say, "Oh well, fair enough." You know, it just stays on. But it's probably just something that he's not doing properly, you know.
Well, I asked you the one about the cash point because it's happened to me more than once. I'll just say more than once, and I've done exactly that. I've looked around, nobody there, couldn't see anybody. Somebody's obviously dashed off within a couple of minutes, maybe jumped in the car. If there's nobody there, bombs go straight in my pocket. I don't care if the camera sees me or
name
not.
On that. Them notes haven't got your name on or anybody else's, and it's not stealing.
If there was somebody walking away, I would
have
the same.
Somebody else would get it, you know. And you obviously deserved it, but
we look at that day, we were absolutely skinned.
I was absolutely skinned, and I found a roll of notes. It wasn't 30.
A roll of notes?
It was 15, I think. A tenner and a fiver rolled up. And
that's right.
Well, I really needed beer. And if you were food, then it bought exactly what I wanted. What I needed. And,
but if it was a wallet, right, with ID
with a card in, I would try and contact the person.
But how about if there was like,
search, you know?
If there was cash in there, would you take the cash out and hand the wallet in, or would you leave the cash in there?
No, I would want the fucking reward, like, you know.
And
or just respect.
I've done it. I've done it many times, especially where I live. I've picked up wallets, taken them into shop, hand them in. They've been picked up. No reward at all. And I've left the cash in there. No reward. It's just and
I
cards. You
found a
find
wallet
cards.
as well with cards in. And I took it to the coppers, and it said, well, basically, if they don't, like, that's how it
Claim it in
works.
30 days, it's yours.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't try and spend anybody's card anyway, and there wasn't any cash in. He obviously spent it in the pub before he fell down the hill and lost his wallet. Because that's what happened, he told us.
It's the same with mobile phones. I know they can be expensive. I mean, in the city, if you find a mobile phone, that's it. It's going to get sold to somebody, isn't it? But I've found a few mobile phones too and done that. It's got
they're not worth
you can get them
a lot, you know.
Not really. But it's got personal stuff on there. It could be photos, information. It's like
I
I was on
you
mobile
can't,
phone.
if it's locked, most people have a lock or a code or something.
Yeah, but you can get the locks off. You can crack the locks with the right software.
If you can, well, I don't know that, you know.
It's only when they report it as being missing and the MEI number gets blocked.
Oh, you're talking about that kind of lock. Oh, yeah. You've got to be quick to open it and reset it. Apparently.
Yeah. When no. Well, if it's just an ordinary lock, right? Then on it, that can be taken off if it's just a PIN number. But if it's reported as being lost or stolen, the service provider will block the MEI number, and it's blocked totally. Those phones get shipped abroad, and they're hacked over there, and they work. And a few years later, they may come back.
Right.
They're not
There's
worth
also
that
a lot
much.
of gold in
No.
No, there's 20 quid's worth of gold at least in each phone. Well, that was like a good 5 years ago. Gold prices doubled by then. Now, it's worth doing it if you've got quite a lot of like boards and things to get the gold. No, not phones. I mean, like recovering gold from like circuit boards and things.
Can I just tell you a little story I read about somebody losing a phone, right? There was a woman walking down the street, and on the corner, she picked up a mobile phone outside this, whatever the shop was. Yeah, she picked up this mobile phone and took it home. It wasn't locked. She opened it up, and she phoned the person that it belonged to. And she said, "Oh, I've got your phone." She goes, "Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Thank you." And she explained where she found it. And she goes, "Coincidentally, about 6 years ago, I lost a necklace, and the woman stopped her. She goes, 'Hang on, describe the necklace.' She said it was a locket with a photo in it. She said, 'I've got that locket. When she described it, she got that locket.' I mean, is that karma? She found the phone, phoned the woman to hand it back, and the woman had the locket that she lost in the same place 6 years earlier. She said, 'I've just kept it here.' She said, I'll return it to you.' Yeah, that's kind of like karma, isn't it? Or poet. Yeah, more like
meant to be. It's like when you meet somebody who you haven't grown up with, and you just connect, and you like think, "Oh, fucking hell, these are like the best friend ever,"
Yeah.
Like that's like me and the pirate. We met on YouTube through Gold, and like we're the best friends ever. Like
yeah.
It's like it's like I grew up with him. Can you hear Ziggy making that noise? He's like,
Well,
he's only 3 and he acts like an old man.
Moving on. Hang on a second. I thought we had a bloody sheep there.
A sheep.
Strange noises from some people. Well, I'm actually going to yeah, anything you say. Yeah, I'm going to close the stream down only because, as I say, I've had a very long day and I am absolutely knackered, and I do really need to get some sleep.
And it's
Good
4
night,
minutes
I'm
past the
going to
witching
bed.
hour.
You could always keep it going, and me and Strangler will keep it going.
I've got to get up at 5 for work. I can't be on. Midnight's the latest, and
No,
it's 4 minutes past.
I suppose. I went to
man.
bed.
That's the other reason as well, because I know.
I went to bed at 6.
Yeah, I might do one on. I might do one on Sunday night if Stangu's going to be around, because although he doesn't have to turn into a pumpkin at an ungodly hour of 12 o'clock, other people do.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
a Sunday.
Oh, don't forget though. Don't forget,
I'll
Grim.
see, I'll see how busy we are.
What didn't we have other plans for Sunday? Oh, hang on.
Sunday
I wanted
afternoon.
to ask. So, I did. We can end her on a good note. Because I don't know if she's in the chat anymore, but I wanted to ask somebody something. Is SB still there? Oh, she gone? Because I just wanted to tell her something. I mean, this is what I was saying earlier. On Monday, it's the 14th, isn't it? It's Valentine's Day.
It certainly is.
And I
is that what you're trying to hint at?
Yeah, I was hinting at that, but she's gone now. I've missed
Is
her.
that what you're trying to hint at?
Yeah, I was hinting because I wanted to tell her how much I loved her. And whether she would, have an online Valentine's date with me. She's there. She's here. Oh no! Right, I'm going to get shot down in flames now.
You need to SB. You need to get there now.
I know we've chatted a bit. I love you very, very much. I really, really do. Would you come on a date with me? Online, of course, because you can't trust people on the internet, can you?
A virtual date.
Yeah, a virtual. I'll take you to the metaverse. I'll take you to the most expensive virtual hotel. We can pretend to eat a meal, or we could,
just eat a meal.
I really think this is hilarious.
There's no answer. I'm going.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
She says yes.
Oh well. Never mind. It was worth a try.
No, she said yes, man.
Really?
Yeah.
She said yes. You're not listening or watching.
Oh, you've made my week.
Oh, that's made his night.
Oh, you have.
Oh, I want to hear
you very
about
much.
that.
Oh, wow. Take that,
I want to hear about this virtual
I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's horrible. I mean, really nice. Listen.
We'll be in touch.
I do not want it being recorded. I know I agree with free speech, right, in every way, shape, and form, but what you get up to in the virtual world stays in the virtual world.
Sorry.
Forever.
SB, do you have all the attachments and stuff? I've got plenty.
Yeah, no, bad question.
He's willing to share.
Look forward to it. I just need your size and stuff like that. No. It's not one size fits all. It's that
app that controls it.
No, it's going to be a romantic meal. Nothing sordid.
She's got everything home. She's looking forward.
We're on. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
So you said romance
brilliant.
was dead.
Brilliant.
You said romance was dead, even in the
Nobody said romance was dead.
So
listen, if you don't take the
who else is celebrating?
man?
Who else is celebrating Valentine's? It's
I'm married, so I won't be, will I?
That's
that's very cynical. I have to be said. It's funny.
That's made my night.
Valentine's Day Massacre is a good film to watch on the 14th of February for some unknown reason.
Valentine's Virtual Massacre.
I love that film, The Valentine's Day Massacre.
Valentine's Day Massacre. The problem is, I've not really celebrated it because I had a motorcycle accident on Valentine's Day, but we're going back a while now. And back in the 1960s, I think it was, when we didn't have but and after
Yes,
that,
he was around in those days.
You're younger than me now, aren't you?
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah, he wasn't driving legally.
No, why would I?
Gina thinks
He was
I'm
71. He
like
still had
only
the
40.
guy in front with the red flag.
I'm not 48 until
Only.
fucking April.
Only is a very big word for 4 letters.
He was born in 1960.
Anyway, you were saying about this motorcycle accident.
It just happened on the 14th, so I've never really celebrated Valentine's. It's always had a bad memory. I fractured my collarbone and went through a car window, and yeah, my mate went over the top of the car. It was like it wasn't my fault. It's the only accidents I've ever had. I was what they call white lining. It's kind of a bit of a grey area, and there was some roadworks
in between
and
cars.
the guy at the front in the car at the front started directing traffic, telling the woman to come out where he shouldn't have been. I mean, who listens to, you're not meant to listen to other drivers. And as I was white lining, she pulled out quite quickly. I went into the oncoming traffic and she carried on coming at me. So I had to swerve back in to avoid the oncoming traffic, and bosh,
I'd rather take a side.
yeah, she bent my forks, and I bust her radiator open. My mate went over, and I think my head hit the windscreen and cracked the windscreen.
Did you?
And that's what
I used to always
Tell
have
me your collarbone that caused the damage then.
no, it wasn't my collarbone. No. And I tell you what, it was
Well,
2 days before I found out. I was too worried. I said to my mate, I said, we've got to go and get my bike back. So we went and picked the bike up, threw it in the back of his Volvo Estate, which is a second bike for a biker, and got it home. And I stayed over there for a few days. And he said, we need to get you to hospital after day 2. And we went into A&E, went in there, got it x-rayed because you've broken your collarbone, or fractured, sorry, not broken, fractured your collarbone. And I was like, oh, okay. And I come out, how are you? I fractured my
Same
If
thing.
only you would leave it to, yeah. He said
I have
that's
to tell
pretty
you
hot.
about my motorbike accident when I broke all my fingers, all my ribs, and my jaw, and nearly decapitated myself.
Oh,
Not
man.
on here, like,
Oh.
not now, like. But all I could think about was getting my bike back home. Even though, like,
Stangu, you're on a virtual
Yeah.
promise. You're on a virtual promise there.
I'll make sure you have a better one this year. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
well, you're buzzing, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think I'm in
Twitching
love.
away.
I never mind work. I think I've got to get ready for Monday, haven't I?
I bet you're twitching, Stanley.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is good.
Do you know what it is, Stangu? It's the ninja outfit.
Is that what it is?
Just
That ninja outfit did it for you.
See, normally people don't notice me when I'm in my ninja outfit. The problem is, it's very disappointing when it comes to sex, right? Because I'm trained to get in and out without being noticed.
Don't blow it now, man.
Sorry.
Virtually speaking.
Sexy voice too. You have a sexy text too. I love your smileys and your winks.
Depends which language you have it in talking back to you.
Oh man,
I really love you.
Well, there's no point in me arranging for a live on Monday then, is there? Stangu, there's no point
Not
in
for
me
me, no.
arranging a live on Monday
No.
night then, is there?
Not for me, no. I'm going to be in a virtual romance.
The sexy boy.
Yeah. This is actually one of those voice what you call them? It's not my real voice.
No,
what do they call them? Yeah, it's just a convincing one. Oh,
wow. No, you're Geordie, really, aren't you?
I'm a Geordie, really. Yeah. Wait, I
You
man.
actually know your Scotch. I've heard you do a hell of a good Scotch normal accent.
We.
He just drinks a lot of scotch.
Man.
Okay. Oh man. At least virtual flowers are going to be cheaper than the real thing too, aren't they?
So the amount of scotch petrol flowers.
Petrol flowers.
Virtual flowers.
I'm just going to cut and paste some off Google.
Of
Oh no, I
course
shouldn't be saying this.
It's going to. Yeah, it's going to. Just remember, you don't want to be
Now he
copyrighted
gets
on your
it.
first outing.
No.
Take her on a hang gliding.
I tell you what, this has been better than speed dating. It's only taken him how many weeks to ask the question? To pick up the courage. So hats off to you, sir. The first step is always the most difficult. And may your virtual relationship last more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, but in our world, that's like 10 years in our world, though, isn't it? 2 seconds on the virtual in the internet.
Yeah, well, that's
so, or 7.
Before your internet goes down and can't get back.
I'll take you all day just to get there.
Don't say things like that.
Virtually speaking, of course.
An e-card, yes, an e-card, of course. I'll send you an e-card.
Are you really?
If you put your address in the chat there, I'll just make a note of it.
Are you really?
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Put your address in the chat. I'll send you a real card.
May I make a suggestion? You use Discord. Can I make a suggestion to the two virtual lovebirds? Well, on one side anyway. That you exchange details in Discord and you DM each other rather than making it any more public than it already is.
Yeah,
the world can see.
We'll do that. Hook me up.
What happens behind closed doors?
I said something on Anne-Marie's live the other day. I said since becoming like being on like talking on your live streams, I've been like a bit more confident in things, you know. And I was saying, well, and I also like when I started out making YouTube videos, I was shy. But then
you've been two-timing me. You've been two-timing this channel.
Thank you. That's not right. Know. But anyway, like
no. No, you know I'm only taking the mickey.
I just mentioned, honestly, like, you know, it's once you realise you're making like videos that the world can see, and that kind of freaked her out. She was like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that."
Well,
you know,
I never thought that the Grim Reaper would become as famous. Apparently, some people like the Grim Reaper. I don't know why.
Well, I've
maybe
already
it's because it's anything but funny at times. Hey, Stango?
Well, it can be.
I'm just kind of well known around the world. Like,
I'm going to end this before I get really, really embarrassed by this conversation, which I'm seeing between two adult people. Oh God, it's getting soppy.
No, my head's up there now. Sorry, I can't help it. I need to get off here before I say something embarrassing.
Love you, virtual kisses.
Oh my God!
Sorry, I virtually love you.
that picture looks as if you got. Have you got a problem with the pink man? It's coming out all over your face. Look at them spots. I hope you get cleared up by Monday. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh,
maybe you need some
penicillin.
Yeah. Oh, I got a reply.
Best live stream.
We're on.
Oh, this is getting too sloppy, folks.
I've got this thing free.
Can I just say that I have no idea whether these two are actually taking a mickey or the
I'm not taking a mickey.
Start of true virtual love.
No.
But
Well,
either
not
way,
observed.
folks,
maybe,
we'll find out.
you know,
What would be
well, there's got to
interesting
be
would
an
be to.
update. You know,
Yeah.
you have to
Well,
make an
hang on.
update video.
Next time we come on live. Oh, sorry, I'll rephrase this. Next time there is a live
Live.
with
Yeah.
Stangu on the panel and SB, right? I think what we should do is have a round of how did it go then,
Questions.
where we
Uh-oh.
ask questions about the evening that they had, and dependent on the answers from each person would depend on who scores or not.
Okay.
What do you think,
Oh,
Stangu?
that
Do
would
you think
make
that
a great
could be
competition.
a good thing? Hey,
We'll see how it
we'll have
goes.
a
We'll see if
dedicated
that goes
night
down.
to.
We'll have a quiz.
No chickening out now, Stangu.
You're not
No
quizzing
chickening
me
out.
about my diet.
Yeah, we'll be quizzing now.
Listen. It's only got to be virtually.
Not just virtually quizzing.
Okay, SB's up for
Yeah.
it.
You
So you
know,
can quiz SB.
asking real questions. You know.
Right.
Oh.
Well,
Now that SB, you
Right.
don't have to come up onto the chat, but what I would suggest that you do is that you come in so that you're in, and don't take this the wrong way, in the back room, or we can, you know, leave it out, 'cause you don't want to come into the main chat, right? So what we can do is we can ask the question, right? But then we'll ask a totally different question to Stangu, but
Oh,
related
what?
to the first question.
Yeah, but I'll
And
see because I'm gonna.
let's see whether or not you get your stories right.
Oh, right. That sounds like a game show. I was hoping to be hanging around in the back room, yeah, backstage, like talking to SB, like while you carry on
Well,
with the show. Actually,
it's a variation on Mr. and Mrs. After a 5-minute. Oh, sorry. After
do I get a choice in this? It looks like SB saying yes, and it's like, hang
Let's
on,
see.
I don't seem to have a choice.
Hang on a second. What we need to know is you need to come back. We will ask you about the other person and what you found out about them. And some of them could be intimate questions. Some of them might not be. Right? But the only person who'll know the answer, the correct answer, is the other person. And will they be bold enough to admit yes or no?
And at the end,
So,
if you win, you both stand there virtually together.
You just then bring in.
That comes along, you know.
Yeah, and
You've
then
just
what we'll do is we will.
You've just reminded me of something. I hang on a sec.
I will put on a full white robe. And I will do you virtually take this idiot to be your lawfully wedded idiot? No, seriously. No, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, I could think
we're getting a bit ahead of things.
Yeah, but
here, like
sorry,
Stan.
Stangu. Yeah, we are. Well, exactly. That's the whole fun. You know, we set them up beforehand, and you know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, SP's up for it. You know, it only takes one person. You can object. I don't have a problem. Stangu, you can object. Will you please put it in writing in triplicate, okay, to the aforementioned email address at dillygaff, idon'tgiveup.com.
Yes, I'll do that. Or I won't do that.
Thank you.
All right.
So I think
I'm so happy.
we've ended. I think that everybody.
Look what you've done now.
Next week.
She wants to marry me now. I will take him as my idiot.
Virtual marriage, man.
Well, he already is somebody's.
Oh yeah.
He comes in here every week and he plays the fill. So why not?
I went to clown college. Spent many years there to become a total prat.
Yeah, you failed. I mean, as you passed, didn't you? You went to Billy Smarts. He
Oh,
was unable to wear the only suit that he could fit into.
right.
Sorry.
I bet you're glad you came on this
Oh.
live stream tonight, Strong.
Well, SB is.
Yeah.
She's promised to make it a lot better than last year.
You are over 18, aren't you? You're over 18, right? You should have asked that in the first place.
It'd be interesting to see whether.
Well, because I'm only 16, I prefer older women, you see.
Look, you started this without checking the age first.
On a woman, man.
You mean the more experienced? Right. Seriously, folks, I'm going to have to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining in. We've ended up on a positive note after a misunderstanding with me and the chat, so I apologise once again. Thank you very much. And if you've enjoyed this show, and the Grim Reaper, and if you've really enjoyed this show, SB, just say thank you to Stan before we go. Oh, no reply to that one. All right, no worries. Got you again.
Thank you, chat.
Cheers now. Take care,
Thank
folks.
you,
and again
SB.
soon. Bye now.
Cheers, Rasta.
See you, man. See you all.
Cheers.
10 years over there.
Bye.
Right.
Oh, we're still on, aren't
Do you
we?
want to finish? Do you want me to finish?
Kathy,
Yes.
Yeah. Say hello to everybody.
Just when you think that it's safe. Everybody who's turned up, thanks very much. See you again soon. Take care now. Bye.